on, Your Honor.
Ms. Higuero, good morning.
It's on.
Are we on? Good morning, everyone, and welcome. This is the Jim Hall County Commissioners Court meeting. It is March the 13th, 2017, and it's already 9:30 for us to begin. Roll call.
County Judge Humberto Gonzalez.
Present.
Commissioner Precinct 1, Humberto Martinez.
Here.
Commissioner Precinct 2, Abelardo Valdez.
Here.
Commissioner Precinct 3, Sandra.
Here.
Commissioner Precinct 4, Cynthia Guerra Redcourt. Here. Your Honor, there is a quorum. You may proceed.
Thank you. Would you all please rise? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. No public comments. Let's go down to item 1703-011, dispense with the order of business.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. We have a couple of visitors this morning under 1703-013. Discuss county roads and street signs at Guerra Street. Camila Falcon Comstock and Ofelia Falcon Noriega are present this morning, and they will make a presentation to the Commissioners Court. Invited by Commissioner Bettencourt, which is in her precinct, so.
All right, good morning.
Morning.
It's been our consensus for a while that the taxes from the citizens of Guerra are going elsewhere. And in a way I can understand when there's not a lot of people in the community. But with the old cliche, if you build it, they will come. Some time back, we tried getting water to Guerra, and when our parents were still alive, there was so much in the community, and we all went down there to petition to get water, and that just fell through. Instead, that water got rerouted somewhere else. Well, Guerra is slowly trying to come back, and there are families there now. And again, there'd be more families if we tried to do something about that. And again, my consensus is the taxes that we all pay. I know that water would be a lot to ask for, so baby steps is what we had told Cynthia. If we could get the roads at least paved and street signs, especially now, because there is a family living there now who's putting up street signs and changing the names. We do have a history of Guerra. We've got maps to where the original names are on those maps. And we'd like to put up the street signs that go with that history instead of the family who is there now putting up street signs of their own and names of their own. Because if that was the case, we'd be putting Falcon, that would go back with our great-grandfather, Blas Maria de la Garza Falcon, who did establish and colonize, So that's what we're asking for, that if some of those taxes could be used to start to pave some of those streets, especially the ones where there are families now, and if we could start putting up some of those street signs and address the issue of the family who is putting up these other signs that we feel don't belong there.
The county has not put those signs up?
No, she's having them made personally, and she's putting them up herself and renaming them to something that associates with their family. In fact, I think she put their family name on one of the street signs. I took pictures. Of course, I'm not prepared for that. I have to scroll through all these pictures that I have. But I did take pictures of the street signs, and there are the green signs. Down the Crecido. And now she's put up another sign. And again, just because we don't live there on a daily basis, doesn't mean that, and they do, that they can overtake Guerra, especially we've got a deep-rooted history in Guerra with our parents who were born, and our father, Alvaro Falcon, was raised there, and our uncles were raised there. So, and then people coming in from the outside and then trying to change things to their name. I feel that's inappropriate. So.
How many families are out there?
There's three.
Three?
Three families, if I'm not mistaken, Cynthia. There's three,
Alfredo Barrial, Luis Garcia, and David Salinas?
and then Carlos.
Carlos across the street.
Is this across the street?
The highway.
Right. And again, I still feel that if, there was more accessibility to water, some of them, like Carlos and the Villarreales, they have well water, which makes it really easy, but when we don't have well water, it's supposed to be tanques. And that makes it hard to drink. We can't drink the water. So that extended stay, and then I think you were saying, it's today's technology. That generation is so used to their cell phones. Thank goodness we do have cell service over there. But if there was water more accessible, even the grandkids that are now older and married with their kids, I think would go more so because there is a history and they do have a tie to that history. Los abuelos were there and the tios. But again, that water makes it really hard. So I want, again, with baby steps on the concept of we are paying our taxes. We've been paying them for so many years from our fathers and before that. And again, where are those taxes going of the citizens of Guerra that are paying the taxes? They're not going to Guerra. We don't even have trash service. We have to go ahead and take our trash back home in order to throw it because we don't have that service coming anymore. So again, that also makes it difficult. Después entra la flojera to others, and ya no viene. And again, baby steps. If we could get some of those streets paved, and then the street signs especially to set up precedents to this other family that is starting to put up signs on their own, we would appreciate it very much. And then we can, the steps, if we can have that water. I don't know how much that would entail. I'm sure it takes money. Everything takes money. But if you could kind of put that in the back of your head to get some water together, I know things will change.
No, we tried about 8 years ago. We went to Austin, and it was on the grants, and they said it wasn't feasible. That's what
I heard it got rerouted.
No.
Yeah, to the south.
Yeah, but it wasn't feasible to come over here because they went to somebody who has more populated.
Yeah.
That's
what happened.
And then all the deals were still around.
They were going to run a line from El South
Yeah.
over here, and it was way,
Guerra.
way expensive.
I remember that. I remember coming. And then it failed. We all just, got up there and represented, and then after that, people just kind of, those are we got.
And in the meantime, our, parents have passed on.
And our uncles and aunts, because they were at that age group, so people just started to pass away. So now we're the ones who left, and that are left, and it's still in here on how they.
Have y'all approached Los Ebanos? Not Los Ebanos, El South Water Supply Corporation?
But that's where we went. There's where we went, Judge Canales and,
So it's about 26 miles from El South to Guerra?
That's when Judge Canales was there, and we presented it with him. And again, there was a large number of people representing that particular issue that we had, and it just fell through. We weren't large enough,
Well, what affects you more than anything else is the number of potential customers that El South would pick up by putting a line down to Guerra. If you can get all the landowners between El South and Guerra to come on board and be able to say, yes, we'll become members of the corporation, the thing that's going to hurt you the most is the residents. In order to be eligible for a grant, you have to serve household residents. And if you don't have the numbers, it's going to restrict the amount of grant you're going to get. But if you're willing to pay for a loan, then you have to convince El South to authorize them getting into debt to run the line, and you may be paying a higher charge than El South for the water, because what they're going to look at is, why should the residents of El South or the members of El South Water Supply pay to run the line to Guerra? So, but if the people who are going to benefit from that line are on board, then that's the way you're going to have to go, because
El South is the closest water supply corporation to you right now. In fact, there was a study done that they wanted to run a line down to Guerra, down to the road, and I forget the name of the road, it's a Chihuahua road that goes all the way to 83 and pick up all those customers. And they didn't have enough people on board to justify it. So that's what you have to do. You have to form a steering committee, go before the South Water Supply Corporation Board, and convince them that you have the numbers, that if they run a line there, that you're willing to pay for it. Because it's a lot cheaper to run a line than it is to drill a well.
Right. Right. Yeah. Well, I don't want to get disillusioned. Back then when we really had the numbers, and now that everyone is just so dispersed.
But you have a lot of landowners that may be willing to become members of a corporation because once the line is there and say it's on 649, then if they want to run their line, say a mile inside their property, they can do so.
And how would I obtain those names? Because I don't know who they are.
Probably the best way would be your tax assessor collector or your appraisal district. There's an appraisal district in Stark County. You could probably get the list from the
Yeah, we're
land.
going to go there because there's another issue. We do have a small piece of land which is in front of our ranch house. What was the name of the placita? Armas. There's, back then, los abuelos went ahead and they made little placitas and they named them. And it just so happens that right in front of our house is the Placita Armas. It is nothing but land. And we want to extend the fence forward in order to close us up. And that would match us up to the Villarreal property. Because we're back here, they're over here. This little piece of land is supposed to be a placita. And yet we have to go through it. There's no choice. We have to go through that gate in order to get into our property. So I want to extend the fence this way, and that would match us up to the Villarreal property. So I want to also, yeah, that's something else, which I think Cynthia had said I needed to present it to you all. I don't know what the proper procedures are in order to see about what that property would entail, what would it cost, and for us to purchase it. So that's something else.
Who owns it now?
Because the placita would be.
Who owns it now?
The placita.
The county?
The county,
County owns it, because it's county
Let's plot it
property.
that way.
All those placitas were donated by different families, so you all own it. It isn't owned by anyone. It's owned
Counselor,
by
you can step in to the conversation.
I was gonna ask, what abstract are y'all talking about?
We have to
Right,
manage.
there's the map right here.
En Guerra.
Yeah, it is.
You probably may have to make a trip to the appraisal office.
Because they have the maps, they have the Google Earth and all of that.
Right.
And we have all the maps, trust me, our parents have everything. This is just of the streets and of Guerra, but I have a heck of a lot more maps than that.
When was the town platted?
Oh my goodness, I don't know, it's been years ago.
In other words, what were the streets and the plazas dedicated to the town, to the county at that time?
I couldn't tell you, I just know that we all have maps, everyone has maps, all the cousins have maps, and they all have the same maps, and they're all plotted, they all have the names of the streets, and the names of the placitas where the lake used to be.
Measurements of every street and,
Everything is there.
But does it have the seal?
and what?
The county seal?
Dated?
No, this is somebody made this is the Colorado Ranch Town Tract.
Well, we
Exhibit
could
B
get
to
everything
something.
done. We could get everything. Okay, so again, it's for your consideration.
You're gonna be in town, visit with the county attorney in terms of, what, especially that property that belongs to the county, if there's anything that we, as a commissioners court can do. You'd have to come through him.
The streets, I can tell them to remove the signs.
And put yours, put the,
And
I can do that.
the idea that anybody can put up a sign, I think that's, if they haven't come through the commissioners court, it's not official.
If they're
well,
dedicated,
the roads of the county, or the,
If they're dedicated streets or roads to the county,
They are.
then the only authorized person to put up signs is the county.
Right. And we presented that to Cynthia, so she knows about it. We told her this last time that we went to the ranch, and we saw it, took pictures, and did show it to her, and she said she would address that.
Does the person who's putting up the signs live there?
Yes. And I asked him, who told you to put those signs? Because it was my brother. I don't know who's his brother
And
is.
they're having them made, and there's already two now, that's what I hear, three now. So if that's the case, we that have more of a rich history of families there, we could have put our own rich street.
I think we need to go back with the county attorney to make sure that those streets were deeded to the county first and foremost. Because that map looks real nice, it's got names, but it doesn't look like it's an official seal or something that was done officially to the commission. So I think that's the first step. Who has the authority to, and take it from there. Thank you for coming. Appreciate it.
We're gonna skedaddle and leave y'all to your business.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you very much.
Let's go down to item C on that same 1703-013, approved proposal from Ray Fuentes for Genoa County Fair activities. Is Chilo here?
Right there in front. Front row. Front row.
Good morning, everybody. I came to address you all because, as you know, I love my county and I love to beautify it. But right now, we're having our fair going on, and we're having a lot of activities, so we wanted to make this other video. I know that you all asked me for the other video. I will make sure that each one of you will get a video. But this video is going to be coming together. We're going to be putting it together through the years. And when we celebrate our 100th and... Well, if you want 15, we'll go up to 15. But we're celebrating our 32nd anniversary for the Jamal County Fair Association. And I think it's a beautiful thing to have, a beautiful memory. And also we have our museum. They are doing a beautiful job, a display. We're honoring all 32 branches of the youth. And if you haven't gone, I ask you to please go visit. It's beautiful. So the proposal is $562 only.
Only?
And yes, but it's going to be well spent. That's the way I feel. And hopefully you can prove it. And
It's the same guy, Fuentes?
yes, the same guy Fuentes. And I know that, sir, they don't have a video of the ones Mr. Fuentes brought, and we would like to make a copy for each and every one of them.
We got some copies of it.
Yes, a copy for each and every one of them. Because what we want to do in the future is we're going to have a very nice gala, but we're going to be showing all of that when we put it all together. It's going to be shown. And it's going to be awesome and beautiful. And the money is well spent because it's a beautiful memory for each and every one of us for our county. So that's all I have to say.
This usually comes out of our hotel motel?
Yes.
Who gets to view the video?
If you want to, so you can.
No.
Who gets to view the video? You're asking me? Well, we can all video. If you want a video, like, what do you...
Well, let me ask you, let me rephrase that.
We have one here.
Last year they did a video, right?
I haven't seen it.
Where was it shown? Who saw it? And what did the county get for it?
Okay. We were going to show it, but due to the weather and everybody had a lot of issues. It wasn't shown, sir. We were supposed to have
A gala?
a gala, and we didn't have it. But this coming year, we're planning one, and that's going to be shown there, and we're going to put it together, and it's going to be awesome. And
They also took some sections out of
Yes,
the Vaquero and
the
did some
Vaquero, yes,
commercials
because-
and,
Well, our hotel motel fund, in order to use that money, is for the advertisement of the Jim Hall County. So if they would see it, that's not advertisement because they already live here. So hotel motel is to use so people can come and stay at our hotel or motel or come visit here. So in my opinion, in order to fund that video, it would need to be shown outside here.
and made
So
available
maybe
to any club,
put-
anybody
yeah,
wants to
So
see it.
maybe put on our website, put somewhere elsewhere, maybe on a channel, news because then it's in here. That kind of thing is advertising people to come here.
Didn't we have one on the website? No?
Yes, we did. That little clips of the video.
Which one was the one
And
that we
in
had?
fact, in Laredo, Mr. Fuentes got in touch with me because when they were having a celebration, he showed some of that video. But of course, we don't have Channel 8, so we didn't get to see it. But he called me and told me, and I says, well, we don't have Channel 8, so I'll let him know. So
And how much is
it's $560.
I think we need to do a better job of making it available to the public for clubs. The problem is that we don't have too many clubs that meet and show
Well, I
stuff.
had approached you all also that we could make that video and we could even sell it. And not only, but you know what? We could, like the museum is doing a tremendous job.
That's where
We
they
could-
show it.
We could show it there. We could sell it and have those funds also for them as well, because they run by funds as well, you know?
It's
So-
been my experience that videos don't sell simply because if you're not in it, you're not buying it.
Well, I'm gonna make sure
So you're not
that,
gonna buy
Yeah,
it,
no,
so you're not gonna buy it
this is
over
more of
time?
a service to the community, to the clubs, to the
yes.
people
We
that are
wanna make-
trying to promote the community.
It's, I've been involved with the Museum Foundation since probably its creation. And during the 100-year celebration, we prepared the 100-year book thinking that it was going to sell like hotcakes, and it really hasn't.
have
Some people
one.
think,
I have one.
well, but we have a limited market in Hebbronville. In other words, even if you buy, every person in Hebbronville bought one, you'd still have a lot left over. In other words, I personally, what I do is I give them away as Christmas gifts to some of my relatives. In fact, I know one book is in Puerto Rico right now because I gave it to that family. It's very optimistic in that we're trying to do all this stuff, but it just doesn't sell. Unfortunately, it just doesn't sell.
I bought a Vaquero filmed in 82, 83.
Oh, yes, the
84.
Forgotten Cowboy?
Yeah. I saw it last
involved in
night.
that.
I bought it, and I saw it last night on YouTube. For free. For free.
And this is probably where this one needs to go, to YouTube, so people can see it.
Yes.
All of them.
And I will make sure it does go, and I will make sure that he will advertise Hebbronville. So,
Yeah, this
I
is,
think that the people that know me, if you know me, truly know me, you know that I'm capable of, hopefully I can make it one more year, but, you know that I'm capable of doing what I say I'm going to do. And when I volunteer and when I give my time 110%. And sometimes y'all might think that I bug you and I'm a pain, but guess what? That's the way we get things done in our county. And I hope that some of y'all want to volunteer. Any volunteers to take over, like we need people to come forward. Because I hear a lot of complaints, but I don't see them there in the meetings. I don't see them helping. Because there are only 9 members, sir, and they all need committees. They all need to be helped. We want to see you all there. We invite each and every one of all of you to be there to attend our fair. And it's for our children as well, and for all of us. So, I would love to see you there.
for participation.
And I'll make sure you're taken care of.
I hope so.
Okay. So,
Where would the money come from, Marisa?
Well, it would come from the hotel motel fund, but that's what I'm saying, the only,
How much money-
legally, we can use that money only to advertise for
Promote the
people
county.
to stay at the hotel motel.
And we
So,
will.
if you're saying that it's just so you could have it and to show it here
No,
in
no.
Jim Hog and to give to them, I would say.
No, I believe we have, you have a web page, right?
How much money do we have there?
I'm not sure, I don't have it here, but we don't use hotel motel funds.
Well, we've
We don't
committed,
use it because the only time that we expect from it is this, they did
That's
this
it.
last year.
we've committed, a good portion of the hotel motel tax towards our contribution towards the airport fund. Is that correct?
I
Some of it.
believe so, yes.
Well,
Was it 88,000?
Scott gets most of it because I think we have about $93,000 in there.
Right.
And we've committed about 88,000 to that. So there's only about maybe $5,000 in there as of January. So, which leads me to another deal, but because the airport, agreement that we're gonna discuss in a few minutes, calls that if there's any overruns, the county has to come up with their portion for those overruns. And we don't know what those overruns could be. So, you know, you could wipe out that hotel motel tax. fund.
What happened?
Gigi has
The
number.
balance is 15,768.36 in the hotel.
How much is the expense for the?
I think it was 88.
No, I think something was paid, I'm not sure what.
Airport.
Huh?
The
airport.
The airport
Airport.
was paid, but after the airport was paid, we have 15,000 left.
Yeah, because it's,
But like
some
you
money
said,
keeps
So it was
coming in.
95 or something.
So we've already paid, TxDOT on that airport
We sure have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
without signing an agreement?
Well, I have never seen anything in the airport. You're just informing me this right now. So between January and now, I haven't seen anything in the airport. I don't know if that happened before or what. But as of right now, the balance is 15,000 in hotel motel. I'll need to go back and look about the airport itself.
All agreements were executed through the Commissioners Court, everything. They came and presented and signed and delivered. I don't know what other agreements there needs to be.
There's an agreement in there.
This is an agreement for them to begin. This is the final notice. They're telling us this, we're ready to start. This is it. We've already paid our portion. Before they begin construction, this is what they need us to.
I'll go ahead and move on make the motion for the video.
A motion to approve the video, is there a second?
Second.
Second. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, raise your hand. Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you so much. You're all gonna be so happy.
Thank you.
And I'll remove myself because I have to go collect money.
Let's go to item 1703. Well, thank you. Letter B, we have some visitors here. Presentation of Woodman Life Insurance Company sales, Denise Gonzalez.
Second page, the top
Number
one.
8, under 1703-012.
Carlos, the top one. Second page.
Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Raul Ramirez. This is my coworker Denise Gonzalez. And in Hernandez, we represent Woodman Life Insurance, also known as Woodman of the World Life Insurance Society. We are a nonprofit financial service organization. It's been around 127 years, servicing individuals and groups. We are here basically to offer our services to the county. My understanding is there's a contract that's coming up, and we'd like an opportunity to serve the county. We have basically a two-part mission as an organization. One is to obviously serve people with the opportunity to be insured, and a secondary, not so much secondary, but parallel mission of serving the community. We have local chapters that get involved and extend the opportunity to individuals in the community to provide and help out with community service projects. We have a number of chapters in the area, not necessarily one here in Haverhill, but we'd love to get one started and help out with community service projects. Obviously, people in the organization would be the ones to spearhead these community service projects, whatever it might be. We've helped out in the Rio Grande Valley and in the Laredo area with the Texas Migrant Council and the local food banks. We have a national community focus right now of fight against hunger. So we currently work on raising food to help out needy people who visit these local pantries that need help providing for their families. We have a number of other things that we do within the community and for our members, such as family fun days that we extend on an annual basis. This past year, and we will be doing the same thing this coming year of providing a family fun day at a very minimal cost to our members for Schlitterbahn. We usually have an event at South Adrian in Schlitterbahn and in New Braunfels. Tickets that are typically $65 are offered at $20 to each member. Each member is also allowed to bring 2 guests at the same cost. We also have a number of additional benefits. If you look through those booklets that we passed out, an additional benefit such as a first responder benefit that provides any first responder with an additional $25,000 of insurance at no cost should they pass in the line of duty. We have a number of other benefits such as discounts to over 30,000 retailers that we typically buy from on a daily basis. We offer a newborn benefit should a family who is all members have a child between the ages of 48 hours and 6 months of birth pass away. There's a $10,000 benefit that's paid out to that family. A number of other different benefits that I could go through, but you have the literature that's out there.
What are your basic products that you're offering the employees?
We do basically life insurance, and our core products are life insurance and retirement products. However, we do offer a number of supplementals such as cancer insurance, covers cancer, heart attack, stroke, is considered critical illness, disability insurance, be it long-term or short-term, health insurance, dental, vision, a number of insurance products that we offer. However, our core products are mainly life insurance.
And you're requesting payroll deduction?
Typically, that's how we would do it with such an organization. We have the option of doing it individually or through payroll deduction. Whatever the county elects is best for the employees.
But when do all the insurance meet?
They're coming in this month already. We have several lined up to come for all the months.
Sometime in March.
Is this a cafeteria plan?
No, it's not a cafeteria plan. We do not do contracts that would renew on an annual basis, so you don't see increasing costs. People who have a product with us have a fixed premium, and be it this year or 10 years from now, we'll be paying the same premium, regardless of how long they've had the product. It would be the same. It doesn't change on an annual basis. Regarding cafeteria product, it pays a benefit as a person is treated or whatever. Life insurance is basically paid out in a income tax-free lump sum payment upon the insured person's passing. Retirement products, there's a number of different products that we offer, and none of the supplemental products, be it disability or the critical illness or whatnot, none of them are cafeteria plans as well. They're all basically would pay out on a lump sum basis, whatever the benefit is, whatever benefit is purchased.
What I'm asking is, you are to come in to talk to the employees.
Yes, ma'am.
Some employees might buy your premiums, but then we have several coming in, they might decide, no, I want this one, I'll get this one. Or along the year, they decide to cancel because they see their paychecks getting lower, so
Yes.
that's why I'm asking.
Well,
If you have a cafeteria plan, they know they're gonna be locked in for a year. And a lot of people sometimes just go on and end up canceling.
As far as cost goes, I think we're probably hands down the best company around. Because of our nonprofit status, we're a member-owned company. Our premiums are as low as possible, and so we don't exist to profit off of anybody. Should there be any profits, which there has been for all but 1 year of our existence, like I said, we've been around 127 years. Those profits are refunded through a number of different means to the members of the company.
Is this Woodmen of the World organization? Why doesn't it say anywhere?
Well, Woodmen of the World, about 1.5 years ago, went through, they're still known as officially as Woodmen of the World, but they go by Woodmen Life now. They shortened the name to be more relative to the industry that we service.
And it's a nonprofit.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. A lot of what we do is give back to the community. Like you mentioned, like the first responders, a lot of our first responders are overworked and underpaid. We provide flags if anybody needs a flag. We do provide flags, awards to school. That's always been their mission, to protect families from financial hardship and also to give back in the community. And I mean, it's a good organization. Like you said, we're not for profit. We give everything back to our members in form of benefits, and they did it last year, they're gonna do it this year. Family funding, where they want the family to get involved. Before they used to have a camp for the kids, send off the kids to the camp. Now they want to get the whole family involved.
We also offer scholarships to graduating high school seniors. They range anywhere from $20,000 to $500. They go through an application process, and they're selected for a scholarship. They're awarded a scholarship to use for tuition, books, and housing whenever they attend college.
Okay, so what you're requesting right now is just for the Commissioners Court to approve that you have access to the employees, and if they want to, through payroll deduction.
Whether it be through payroll deduction, that would obviously be more, the easiest way to do it for the employees. Whether it be through open enrollment, or we meet with each individual department, however the court deems it.
I think your best sell is here. You're a nonprofit, and I don't think we have an insurance provider that's nonprofit. This is the first I've seen. But you need to let people know that.
Well, we don't advertise, and part of the reason why we don't advertise is to keep our costs as low as possible. Word of mouth is really the best and only advertisement that we do, and that's how we've operated for a number of different years. We do have currently several members here in the community that are part of our members. Linda's family has lived in this community for some time, and so we come visit here periodically. Like I said, we'd love to just expand our membership here and establish a greater presence to help people and, get the word out that we're here, and we're really just here to extend our services. We don't charge anybody anything to sit down and help review their retirement accounts or life insurance or whatever the case might be, whether it be our product or somebody else's. We're here to help out.
You're out of Laredo? Where are you?
We're based out of the Valley. Our office is in Edinburgh. We have an office in Laredo as well, and one in West Lagoon.
We actually came in at an event, and Mr. Martinez actually stopped off at our booth, and we were speaking with him about the event. So this was the first time that we were here, which was really good, and we had a good response at the event. So we'd like to give thanks to Griselda Aldaco. She was one of the persons that recommended us to come out and say, come to you guys and, do a presentation for you, let you know what we have, try to offer our services to everyone. So she was actually the one that was, recommended for us to come in to talk to you guys. And then Rosa Gonzalez, another person that I'll say her name, she was another one that also helped us, to get in to speak with you guys. So we'd like to thank them very much for helping us out. But the event that you had, that was at the junior high?
Walk Across Texas.
Yes, the walk of, yes. We were there, and that was an awesome event. So it went really well, I think, for us and maybe for all the other vendors that were out there. So, but any event that comes up in your community, we would love to come out and help out, because that's what we are. Our company is based off of helping communities, whether you're a member or not,
we would just like to come out and help, and that actually promotes us to come out to you guys. And like I said, whether you're a member or not, we're here to help, and that's what our company is. It's based on, helping, everybody in the community. Like the lady that, said she has an event coming up, if anybody wanted to volunteer, if anybody wanted to help out, if there's something we can do to help her, we'd be more than happy to help. That's what we're based on, is we're here for our members, we're here to service our members, we're here to help them in any way possible. Not just to say, we're coming in just to, sign you up, and then that's it, and then you're done. No, our thing is, every 6 months, we come out and we say, or even if it's before every 6 months, and we say, hey, how are you doing, what's going on, any changes, anything has happened, what's new, grandkids, a new house, a new, whatever it is in your life, that somebody getting married, whatever it is in your life that's changing, we're here to help with that as financial planning, for life insurance, health insurance, whatever it is that we can do to offer our services for the community.
Thank you all.
Yes, sir, thank you.
Thank you.
Is there a motion to approve Woodland Life Insurance Company being, have access to employees and so on and so forth? Motion made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. You can get with the treasurer, she'll tell you more or less when they meet. Where, usually at the First National Bank, no? Or?
No, they're already coming in, but I have the 14, 15, 21, 22, 27, 28, 29 booked already. There's people coming in those days.
Okay. So whatever date you have available, let us know.
Because you would need it in 2 days to come up.
Okay.
But yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for your participation at the walk across.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
That was good.
Did you ever find the picture of your signal?
No, I haven't had the opportunity to pursue what I need to do.
It's okay, we'll give you time.
Yes.
Under item 1703-013, letter, is it I? L. It's I. Discuss conferences for clerks at JP's office requested by JP Silguero. Anybody representing her? Oh, there.
Here, I'm sitting with you all today.
Hey, good morning.
Okay. I just wanted to let you all know that some conferences are coming up. We have the legislature on August, and we need to send Norma, the clerk, and Velma. And Norma doesn't have only $68, and we already registered her and Velma to go to Corpus, and it's going to be 1 day. And then in April, it'll be 3 days for Norma. Her conference is 16 hours that she needs to go to, and we don't have any money for them.
Norma is the full-time employee.
Yes, sir.
Well, how come they didn't get any money? I mean, how come?
Well, Norma, they gave her only about $500. $500 doesn't cover the year.
And then all these conferences are mandatory,
Yes,
like the 16 hours that she has to
Yes.
go? They have-
yes.
Okay,
But just Norma, right?
just normal.
Yeah,
Right.
and
The 16 hours mandatory, the legislative is optional.
Pues how much is that, what's the cost of that one?
of which one?
Of the 16 hours?
I don't know, I haven't.
So the other one's not mandatory?
Which one is the 3-day and which one is this one?
April is the 3-day.
And that, okay, the April is the 3-day, but is it the legislative update or is it the mandatory?
No, it's the mandatory, and the legislature is only
Okay,
1
the
day.
one that, because I didn't get to talk to you, so I didn't know why, what you wanted to discuss. I do have here the amounts that y'all have left, and yes, Norma has $68, but there's other JPs that do have money. Like, I don't know which one's which, so I'm just gonna say precinct 2 has 1209, and precinct 3 has
1,063. The other two precincts, 1 and 4, have 693, both of them. So that's still quite a bit of money. So I mean, in my opinion, I feel that why we shouldn't increase Norma's if y'all have money that we can all share. It's y'all's department. Another thing about the part-time clerk that we discussed previously, that's only if y'all decide that y'all wanted to, and y'all had monies to take her. Y'all don't have monies here. You don't even have monies for your secretary. You only have $60 for the. So I haven't paid your invoices. I got them. They registered for that one in Corpus, and that one's not mandatory. And I haven't paid them because they were $150 each person. And that was the 4 JPs, Norma, and the part-time Velma. Well, Velma doesn't have a line item. So there, I wasn't sure. I was going to ask y'all where y'all wanted me to take that out from. And there's not enough money for Norma to go either. So it's kind of a big situation to not just pull monies from somewhere else and give it to Norma, you know. There's a lot of other steps that we should consider taking.
Okay, and the thing about it is, this money that they give to each JP, and we don't use it, or, you know, we're holding on to it for another, because there's a lot of mandatory in conferences that we don't go to, because there's not enough. But there's not enough money, and if they start taking money away from us JPs, then they're going to think that we don't need that money, and they're not going to give us the following year. They're not going to give us the amount of money that we need.
I brought this issue up as an elected official. Like we only have how many hours? 13?
15.
16 hours. But there's other conferences that we can go to, but we only go where the mandatory. We don't go to the other one. We can, but it's going to cost. So does your mandatory? There's, in my opinion, should only be one, not 3 or 4.
Well, we don't go to 3 or 4, sir. The legislature, it's very important that we go because they change the laws every year, and we have to be up to date with it.
But how much is that?
It's $150.
For the class or what?
No, that was a registration.
Registration.
But I have a question. Since I wasn't here, what is the conference that y'all went to before? This budget year, y'all gone somewhere because there's...
It was the 20 hours that we had.
So then that would be 3 conferences and y'all go to in a budget year.
Hill Country.
Yeah, we went to
Yes. Oh, so that's 4 conferences. That's a lot. In my department, my assistant, she's sworn in, you know, but she doesn't go. I don't take her. I go by her, and even before she wouldn't go. I'm the only person that goes on all my department because of the monetary. Because I only have 1 budget conference expense. Y'all have 5. You know, so.
Is it they tell? I mean, they're supposed to tell us there's only 1 mandatory, but they tell us we have to go to these other ones. I mean, we can't afford to.
Right.
Only the one that you really you're gonna get credit hours. The rest, I mean.
Well, the legislature, we have to go, and the 20 hours, we have to go to.
So y'all went to the 20 hours one already, so we don't have to worry about that one. And then the legislative is the 3-day one.
No, the 3, it's a 1 day. The 3 day is for Norma, it's in April, 3 days.
Okay, so this legislative, you're saying that you have to go, but Norma and Velma don't have to go.
Well, really, they don't have to go. But, you know, we want to keep up with the new laws and that.
But bring the booklet over, whatever, and just give it to them. I mean.
But unfortunately, ma'am, we would all want to go.
I like to go to all the conferences because we have in North Texas, South Texas, West Texas, East Texas, all Texas. You know,
But we're not trying to go, sir, to every
No,
single
that's what I'm trying to convey. I mean,
well, that's what I'm trying to tell you. We're not trying to go.
There's a lot of conferences that pay $150 a day.
The important ones, and we want our clerks to be educated too.
Well, here's another solution. I've done this in the past with the motor pool. We've done where if it's going to affect all the 4 precincts, I will take the money from $20 from precinct 4 precinct 3, precinct 2, precinct 1. And that, is the $80 that you would need. We could do that with your clerks. However, if you're determined to go to this one, that's $150 a person, and there's no money after this one, to not make it the trip to the fourth one that you want to go to, or the one that Norma needs to go 3 days, there's nothing we
Well,
can do.
I mean, I'm okay with it. I mean, if we don't have the money for the 1 day,
Mhm.
they don't have to go.
Okay.
They don't have to go. And, but she does have to go to the one in April for 3 days.
That's the one that's,
That's
That's the
mandatory.
the mandatory, they have to
And the
go.
legislation is because, because of the new laws.
Mhm.
Now, we also, Marisa and I, we gave Dominguez some money, I think it was last year, was it last year? When she went over there to the, to where was it?
Padre Island?
Padre Island,
Miss
yeah.
Dominguez is there.
Huh?
Miss Dominguez is right there.
Where?
Okay.
We gave her some money so she could go.
Which is good. because
Absolutely.
I'm saying maybe if you could work with me, maybe we can see where I can take it out from. Because since Norma only has $68 right now, for 3 days she's gonna need the mileage, she's gonna need the per diem, the monies for the meals, and she's gonna need her hotel room. So that's gonna be a little bit pricey. Now, you say it's mandatory, so that one for sure is probably gonna have to come out from all 4 JPs.
Okay.
Telling you.
I don't have a problem with,
No.
money coming out from the JPs, the ones that have the most. But,
Well, evenly. It'll have to come out evenly.
yeah, okay, but I mean, what we don't want is that when October comes, they're gonna reduce again on us, our budget, because we didn't use that money.
He won't have to-
When we work on the budget, we look at the previous year and see how much you spent it. And I already have a folder on what issues arise during the year. So I know that this may be an issue now. However, just because you can't send your part-time clerk doesn't mean I'm going to give you more money in the conference, because I feel that that's not a necessity. So, you get what I'm saying? We're not guaranteeing that we're not going to reduce it, but we're not guaranteeing that I'm going to give you more so all your departments can go. Right.
Well, I mean, that's fine, I mean, but I was just...
But did Norma go to all the mandatory every year?
Yes.
Well, how come she's short?
Because, if I may interrupt?
Yeah.
When we went to the budget meeting last time, we told Judge Gonzalez, because he cut it down to 500. Her mandatory and the Hill Country, which is also mandatory, because you're familiar with...
No.
It's because she does the
She
software.
does the
Okay.
clerk work. That's why I consider it mandatory.
No, mandatory is when you get hours. Those are mandatory.
But because of the changes with Hill Country and everything, like this year, we found out they merged with LNS or something like
They
that.
got bought out.
Yeah, so they took control of it now. Now, we wouldn't have known if we hadn't got, because we had not been notified or anything.
This was
But,
essential because of the work that the
Right,
software that she
right.
works.
And way back then, sir, she used to get $1,500 per budget for her conference and her training. It got cut down to $500. And you said, we'll find money from somewhere, but she needs to, if she needs to go to something. Well, she went to Hill Country, and now we don't have the money for her certification or for her mandatory 16 hours.
Right, and that's understandable. If she needs to go to the mandatory conferences, we can find money. But
Okay.
the other ones are not
Yeah,
mandatory, so I feel that we shouldn't amend.
Okay, so then for this year's budget or for next year's budget, when we start working on it, we don't put in there the Hill Country?
No.
Because it was included
Who else
in
goes
last
to the
year.
Hill Country Conference?
She goes, I
No,
go,
no,
sometimes Marisa goes.
Yeah.
Maybe we should tell Hill Country to come over and give a class to everybody here. How much would that be?
I don't know how much that would
Or whatever.
Well, no, because if only Norma deals with the Hill Country, she's the only one that keys in, right? She's your clerk. Then why should the other 3 JPs
I
go?
see, because I do a lot of my paperwork also.
We should
Okay.
get it.
Can we do that?
Or now maybe her and Della could go, because now you have two clerks, and the two clerks
I
can
know,
go
but we can't
together.
afford it.
You know, everybody, all other departments are cutting down also, you know, not just y'all's department, so that's why we need to
Well, if both
understand that.
clerks go, that would be awesome. You know,
Instead
because it used to be Marisa, and Rosana, and Norma, the three clerks that would go.
Yeah, can somebody find out how much Hill Country or that new company, whatever, would come and charge for them to make a one-day deal for everybody that uses Hill Country to,
I'll find out for you.
please? Because everybody going, we can't afford
It's
it.
because on different days, they do different things, you know. That was-
And from now on, it'll be different
on
because
Sundays, it would be just the treasurer's
they haven't
office,
changed
office,
a lot.
auditor, right?
That year they changed a
The other
lot,
one
so
would be
it
for
was
the
important somebody to go.
clerks.
But for right now, maybe they don't, unless they come down, we don't need to.
If they come down, we don't need to send everybody to those.
To come down, because, see, all the other counties, they go.
Well, it doesn't hurt to
And
ask.
sometimes they do come when there's been the changes, like remember Elizabeth came and we were working on the codes, the DPS codes and everything. Norma and I did it, and then she came and oversaw everything, and then it got done. But she had to come down.
And you guys understand the predicament that we're in.
Yes,
This
sir.
is going to be a very tough year. At the end of this year, we don't grab a hold of this budget, it's going to bite us the year after and the year, and we're gonna be bankrupt in 2-3 years.
And
No doubt about that.
yes, sir, I agree. And the thing is about y'all's budget, how you say, if we don't spend it all, we're gonna take it away. But that doesn't mean let's just spend it all so they won't take it away next year.
No, we don't mean that.
You know, but like I said, I'll work with y'all if you just come and give me your problem, and we'll get together a reasonable solution. And, you know, that means
And I had
give
been
or
talking to
take.
you last week.
Yes, I did not talk to y'all too, but I did talk to Ms. Huff, and I told Ms. Huff the same thing. You know, just y'all turn in your travel and I'll figure out a solution. That way it's not a conflict between y'all's department.
So the solution here is for Norma to go to the 3-day?
Yes, sir.
That's the priority.
That's the most
Yes, that's
important
the priority.
And we'll find something
So
to,
then no Velma, which is the part-time clerk, and no Norma, the clerk, going to this.
To the
Only
legislature.
the 4 JPs because they have money. Then.
for the legislative.
For the legislative. Then for the 3-day one that Norma has to go to, I will take the monies out of all 4, and the clerk $68. And if there is money that y'all still need, then we can consider getting from, your office.
And next
So you're
year,
gonna pay the 4 registration fees for the legislature?
I will pay the 4 JPs, but not the 2 clerks.
Right.
I've got a question. On this Hill Country accounting system, so do all the departments use the same reports?
Well, the Hill Country, I use Hill Country, clerk, you use Hill Country? They do, and so.
everybody does, almost.
Everybody, I guess, here does. I don't think the sheriff's department, do you know?
So,
We came online a couple of years ago.
Oh, so the only person I think is the tax collector, right? And Rudy.
Tax collector.
Does she?
Norma,
So, really and realistically, the training that I went to, it's important for all the counties to be on the same software, because when the auditor does the audit, I don't have to go to them and ask for the reports. I can just do it from my computer and just go into the JPs,
Well-
print out everything, you know? So we should be able to print all the same reports.
so where I was going with this, if all the departments, or the majority of the departments are using the same accounting system, there is a thing called train the trainer, where you send one individual to get trained, and then the individual comes back and trains everybody else. The problem with that is that whoever you send to be the trainer has to be willing to do it and dedicated to do it.
And it's just kind of like, each department does different, you know, things in the actual Hill Country. Like my department, we handle the POs through it and the invoicing.
Everybody uses different
Everybody
parts
uses
of it.
different parts of the Hill Country.
Okay.
Norma, for the JPs, they I guess they do kind of like billing, right, also?
The billing, the reporting, the posting, you know,
Oh,
everything
you
that,
see, they do-
the citations,
we
we
don't
do different things.
We do
So
like
you
the
use the same
purchasing.
accounting system, except not everybody uses every portion
Yes,
of
that's
it.
why people go to
So it wouldn't
different
work.
teams.
Hence, it would be easier for the person from Hill Country to come over here and give a class. Well, this, from
2 hours.
hour out, 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours.
Or if, I'm gonna call and see, and if he can't, or she, or I don't know, whoever does that, then we can result in that, and only one person from the department goes to the conference. I went to my trainings back in January, I typed up all my notes, and now when we start conducting audits in my department, I have printouts from my secretary so they can know, look, this is where I'm getting it from, so they can read my notes. So, that's coming back and teaching on what I've learned. So we can do that, just the clerk goes to hers, I go to mine, one JP goes, something like that. We can consider that option also.
All right,
Okay?
is there a motion that we approve Norma to go to the 3-day conference and the JPs to go to the legislative?
So move.
Second.
Motion
And
made.
please, ma'am, if you can,
Seconded?
find out if they can come over here and give each
Yes,
class.
I will say.
You still be,
It may be more
Cheaper.
cost effective.
Yeah.
yeah.
We'll have to pay them. for it.
Yeah, but it's gonna be paying everybody to go, it'll be cheaper, in my opinion.
Motion on the floor, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay,
Thank you very much.
thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other visitors here, that's it?
No, this lady here?
Oh, no, she's here for
And over
the
here? No.
Where's Airman?
airman, okay. We'll go down to the report.
Ah, for the reports, okay.
Let's track back and we can go down the list. Let's start with Mr. Hogan, reports in 1703-012, presentation on Google G Suite, emails, calendar integration. Too much of a target, you said.
Wanted to talk to you guys about your email system that you guys currently have. Had a conversation with the judge late last year, and he mentioned that I want to be able to integrate the calendar with my phone. Whatever I put on my computer doesn't show up on the phone. The email system you currently have only has integration of email, so anything else such as the address book, calendar, any other features that are very present for nowadays doesn't really integrate or move through different platforms such as an iPhone, an iPad, an Android tablet. So it's just strictly email. What Google has created is Google for Governments, and it has the ability to utilize, if you guys have Gmail or not, you may know how this operates, the ability to take your domain, which is co.jim-hog.tx.us, and place your email name right in front of it, just like you have now through Google. Now, they provide all different features, including making free phone calls from a computer to apps such as similar to Microsoft Word and Excel, all for the same price that you'll get the ability to also integrate the calendar with the email. So whatever you do on your desktop, or if you want to share a calendar with somebody, such as he could share the calendar with Rosa, she can actually fill in the calendar, or the secretary over here could actually do that for you guys, and then you'll basically get updated with what is going to be next for that next day, or what's happening in Commissioner's Court. It will all integrate across all platforms, meaning the phone, the computer. So with this, it's a little bit different price tag. It's $5 a user per month. You currently are paying, I think,
Okay, then the numbers, right now we have 47 emails in the county active, not, give or take 2 or 3. Right now we're paying about $94 a month. We have $1,800 budgeted for our email system, so that is we roughly pay, about $94 a month. So if we would actually choose to go with this computer system, we would need to budget $1,000 more a year. So it's actually not that much. But of course, if we would have to budget more there, we would have to cut back somewhere else. But that's,
And this is really for, I've never asked you this question. This is at the time we were looking at to do more with what we have. People that use the system every day, the auditor, me, and some people don't use it at all. Okay, but is there a possibility that not everybody gets integrated, just some of us, or?
That would be quite difficult. I can look into that, but typically that doesn't happen. It's either one or the other, because you're moving complete platforms utilizing the same domain name, meaning the end of your email address. So that's where it becomes tricky.
I'm still confused. Before, we're doing this way, and now this is a different.
Well, things have changed since this company has created this email system for everybody. Good example.
But with the old system, do the same thing as the new system, other than a few different things?
No. Here's the other things, again, that were a lot of Google apps. For example, if you want to share files outside of the county, but still keep them secure, they have a feature called Google Drive. So you can drop a file in, somebody can share it, in another location right from a phone. For example, this presentation we're getting ready to see here in a little bit, that can be moved all over the place from anybody's home, office, very simply. Sharing data, that's one feature. Again, there's it's got its own presentation system. The same kind of stuff that Microsoft Office has, but they have their own that's pretty much web-based, such as Documents, Excel, PowerPoint presentation, I can't remember what theirs is called, but and phone calls you can make. So all these things that are all integrated together. So that's not just mail is what you get a whole set of features that you really haven't had before. Good example, we had a really bad situation in one of the other counties I worked for about 2 years ago. They completely lost their old email system. They actually think the gentleman died, and it was, could not retrieve their email, would not work. So we had them moved over a weekend to Google Apps, and they went from, okay, we have this platform, now what else can we do for it? Sheriff's Office is utilizing it. They're sharing every bit of data. They don't have a time clock system, so they actually built a timesheet system, which any deputy from any point, from his phone, from the computer in their vehicle, to the secretary at the desk, to the treasurer, can see everything that they're putting in for their time and discuss it. And work out really well for them. So there's not only the email and the calendar integration, there's lots more features you get. Plus it's all backed up. It's going to make it easier for you guys when you create an email address and when you delete an email address, because we're going to manage that for you. And right now it's extremely difficult for us to build an email account. It takes about 1 to 2 days for them to do it. We can do it in probably 5 minutes. And change a password for somebody in a couple minutes, which is very difficult right now to do. You have to call them. You have to turn in a form in some cases. They won't let us really do much of anything. We can create the account, but we can't manage the account. The user has to call up. So that's one thing with that. Since we're already here, we'll be able to do that very simply for you. Quick phone call, reset the password, done.
But how many people will really use that? Is everybody going to use it, or just the judge and the auditor? The sheriff, I don't know. Do you do that?
I have a question. Our email that we use right now, we can't even email from our phone.
You can email through the phone.
Because I can't even access.
But it is, you have to call them.
That's right.
You can email from your phone, but you can't delete the file.
You have to go reroute.
Right.
Yeah, it's an old style of email. It's not what's out there that's built into our phones and tablets nowadays. So realistically what you can do is you can be at your desk, you can put in contact in the contact area, your address book, for example, and then it shows up on your tablet and your phone. So your contact continually gets updated. Delete an email on your phone, change a calendar appointment, it changes everywhere else. So it's all integrated, not just one single location, and then you can't delete things. You can actually install, anybody can actually install the Google Apps just knowing your username and password on any mobile device by themselves. Right now we have to help them. We just had to help Sonia get on the phone. How long did we spend?
Download a presentation on how to download it on the phone.
Yeah, it was quite a bit of effort, so one of my guys had to work with her, and it was not a fun task. Normally, we just give a little document, and they're set up, and it's very simple. You know, if we have to help somebody, we do. If they've got Google, if they've got Microsoft Outlook, which is part of the Office 365 package, we'll probably have to help them set that up. But most cases we will, but that's the only thing. Most people use the web-based version. It works very well.
It's understandable, sir, where you're coming from. It's a very good upgrade, but I don't like the $1,000 extra. And I understand there's not too many technology savvy people. We don't all use email. I mean, I know me and the sheriff were like, and he emailed me back like in 2 minutes because he does it through his phone. I was going to ask him, how do you do that? But anyway, you know, so, but,
I'll put you in jail.
But I don't think, other people do it. You know, in the 47, maybe 5 people.
Hey, what are you doing? I mean, did you use your phone?
But there is good things that maybe in the future we can consider moving to this. I like the sheriff's department.
Yeah, but in 2 or 3 years, you're gonna come with something even better and a little bit more expensive.
And that's the thing with technology. It's
It's always happened.
That's a very good point, and what has happened over the years has actually got quite a bit cheaper. The average price was about 5 years ago, was about $10 per user. If you had a service like this from Google, which they really didn't have one priced out well yet, Microsoft had one. But if you went with a Microsoft Exchange server, which operates the Outlook platform built into Office 365, which has all these features, you're looking at about $15 a head, plus whatever you're, for licensing, plus whatever you're going to spend on your IT guy, which us IT guys don't like that anymore. It's very expensive to operate a server like that. It takes a lot of resources to manage it and to keep it running correctly. And we love this platform because it's so simple. Simplicity is best in this case. One thing that one of the counties I do work for has done in Commissioner's Court, they've actually got to the point where they're using iPads, using pretty much the same system, all on their, right there on their desk, and they're able to get their
Agendas?
Yeah, the agenda before it ever happens, because the secretary drops it in Google Drive, shows right up on their iPad, so they're ready to go. They can mark it, use Adobe. They're able to mark it, ask questions, make notes, right from an iPad, which they can carry with them at all times. And it gives them emails for an emergency.
I don't know if anybody has iPad, not everybody's gonna want iPad. You know?
That's just
I mean, we don't have, in my opinion, we're very poor, but we want to have a Cadillac, but we can't afford it. Simple as that. If we got the money, súmale.
I just brought it up as an option. It'll make it easier, makes your IT staff a lot happier.
How would we benefit from this? From my understanding is very few of us are participating in this program anyway.
As in the commissioners? Yes.
Oh, yeah, only you. You're the only one that has the email.
Yeah, but I've only agreed to do it for 6 months. If it doesn't work out, I'm canceling it.
I emailed you.
I haven't read it.
Just call me?
No, I'm gonna tell you what, simply because.
That's a very good question.
Simply because to get it to my iPhone, you have to reroute it to some other place to get it.
Yeah, that's why I didn't do it, because, so that's why I was having a
See,
problem.
I can't sit here and look at a desktop 8 hours a day. My work schedule is 24/7. You may get an email from me at midnight, because I wake up and I do it.
And that's where it's going to benefit you.
Sir, I'm 24/7.
Well, I understand that.
So you can call him.
But what I'm saying is, if we're not going to use it, why pay for it?
Yeah.
That's true, that's true. It's got to be one of those things, and that goes to,
Are you able to see your county emails?
I can, but I have to go, Austin, your son, showed me how to do it.
I
it's a little, you just can't automatically hit it and get it.
Well, you can, if they program it for you. I think.
Yeah, but my phone died, and I have to get another one. Call me
Okay, you get a bigger problem.
The real benefit was the commissioners at the other county that you work for had the same issue. And one of the things that we did in the contract when we first signed it with you guys is we talked about training. And we actually have quite a bit of hours for training. So when you guys get involved in something that we handle, we will train you. We will help you get to the point, just as we've got your phone going, you can call us at any point and say, hey, I just don't understand this. I got time right now. Doesn't matter if we're here or not. You can call us at any time, and we can help you understand what the use is, how to share calendars. You can actually take a calendar with this and actually put it on your website to have a county calendar if you were, subjected to need that for the public.
Gives us more flexibility and
Gives you more
stuff.
room, this is one thing I almost forgot, gives you more room to actually put a YouTube channel out there that we've been working on, but it gives you more room by having this account to be able to put videos, such as the video that we're talking about today, in your channel of all the things that happen. You can help advertise basically by putting a link on your website back to this. Even has the ability to make sub-websites. It makes regular websites, but you can link other websites to it, even internally.
How many people do we have that have emails? with it?
47.
In the county, 47 people?
Yes.
Are they like me that are on the system but don't use it?
I'm pretty sure, you see,
We use it.
Thank
My
you.
daughter uses it too.
We use our email, 100%, because I am constantly contacting Duval and Star with a lot of grants and a lot of trial agreements. So, my department uses it 100% because we're always having to go
And
back.
it's currently, what, $5 a user?
No, right now it's only $2 a user, and with his upgrade would be $5 a user, so it would affect us a little less than $100 a month.
One more thing that
$250 a month.
One more thing that will help basically a lot of the employees is if they had a large file that needed to be sent, you really can't send large files over email. So a lot of people will drop it in Google Drive. They could drop it in Google Drive to send to somebody, and they could pick it up from Google Drive. It is very secure as a government or even medical email. It's HIPAA compliant, so that's the highest standards basically out there.
We're doing it right now.
For the medical field, for Privacy Act, so it works extremely well. My company solely operates off that. Every bit of data that we have for all of our clients that we support you guys on is supported in there. That's how we look up, what we did here on this system or that system. It makes it extremely simple to be more mobile than we've ever done before.
That's the only good thing in our office is our files are too big to be emailed, so we have to break them down into several emails.
They won't have to do that anymore. They drop it in there, send a link, the people pick it up. It's all cloud-based. It's backed
Can
up.
some people go to the $5 and some people stay on the $2?
That was my question.
Yeah, I don't think that's really going to happen. It's because the way the domain names operate. I can come back to you and say, hey, that's a possibility, but I'm going to have to look into that. You got me on that one.
If we divide and some are .org and some are .com.
You can actually create a new name for yourself, which is only an extra $10 a year to add that on there.
Because a lot of counties have .com and .org.
More and more and more and more and more.
Yeah, it's better to swallow
It really is.
The .org is free, by the way.
How many county phones do we have out?
2.
What do you mean?
I
Like
know the
cell phones? Like,
Cell phones or iPads or something like that.
I guess we just have a couple. I don't think a lot of people have phones.
So most of the phones that are being used are owned by the individual.
Right.
They can get subpoenaed.
They can get subpoenaed, you're right. You're right. No, that's already been established.
Give me your hand, Mr. President.
Same thing with emails. I mean, if you're using your local email, your personal email for business, and all of a sudden there's a Freedom of Information request or a lawsuit, there goes your private
Let me
email.
look at it. Look at my emails.
The only parts.
No, right here. 17,000.
Battery's gonna explode.
Oh, no, I have Unfortunately, 21,000, I know for the emails, but if you got the mail,
Okay.
that's my personal, you know.
This is a report and a presentation. No action needs to be taken here.
Yes.
But it's something that we can look at in terms of the future to make the people that use the system more accessible. But we,
It says action items. So we're gonna have to,
Where this one?
why is it an action item?
because whether to go forward with his,
Oh, well, you put it at the end. Okay.
or else I just told him that it was gonna be an action item.
Okay. All right. Also put it in there, okay?
I mean,
Well, it's a report. It's under reports and presentations. Evidently, we can bring back this. Do we want to, or is it something? You want to bring it back?
I don't wanna bring him out. I mean, I say make the decision now, that way he can know.
I'm not
I
for
don't
it.
have any other questions.
No, not here.
Shall we? Okay. Well,
If you're gonna vote for it, I'm voting against.
Me too.
well, then we need to vote for it, because we can't just say and
Okay.
let the thing.
I'm against it.
I make a motion, we reject it, is that the right way to do it?
A demonstration or a discussion. I didn't know it was going to be an action.
Yeah, make a motion that at this time we're not interested in the
I
program.
do make that motion that we're not interested
I'm
at
second
that
it.
time.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Thank you, sir. All right, budget amendments?
Okay, we have several budget amendments. We're gonna start off with the ones that y'all have there in your binder. There's gonna be two. One's requested from the DA's office. They're gonna transfer 2,000 from their legal library to their travel expense, since we have the two, well, actually three, employees working for Duval and Jim Hog. So they travel here, I guess, twice a week. So they're gonna go ahead and amend from their legal library to their travel expense. Okay? Since that just kind of happened in the middle, and it started in January. So next year budget year, we talked to them, we'll probably budget more in their travel now. Because now we know they have to come every week.
Who's traveling?
It's, the DA's, Rumi, right? It's the DA assistant. Rumi, here. And
He's
then-
the assistant DA.
Assistant DA, yes, and then two of the secretaries, Ms. Trevino and Barbara Ramirez. They are doing here, Jim Hog, and Duval. So they come
This is
twice-
within their budget.
Yes, this is within their budget. They're moving 2,000 from their legal library to their travel expense, because we're paying them out of their travel expense. Okay. And the email should be attached from when she emailed me. The second one is gonna be the sheriff's department. They got a refund, and we're just asking to put it into their parts and repairs, because when they repair something or get parts, they send to the state, and then the state will refund us. So, all refunds come into the general, so they're asking if it can go back to the sheriff's department. Okay? Okay. And then I'm gonna have two more that y'all don't have there, but they're gonna go ahead and be more of kind of just transfer some money that I just want to okay through y'all. The first one is gonna be the ambulance. We pay the ambulance $20,000 a month, and unfortunately, we don't have that much in our account. Okay, we're not getting from the state as much as we originally thought. So right now, we only have 16,000, and it's kind of a reoccurring problem that we don't have enough money to pay from there. So right now, I'm asking if we can get 5,000 from the general fund miscellaneous, 10,000 from the SWIVIT, which is our reserve, and 5,000 from where we usually pay the ambulance. The reason, health services. The reason why I'm splitting it up is because I don't want to pay it all from the SWIVIT account, which is our reserve, because that's the only money that we have reserved, and there's going to be another issue on the agenda that.
You can't get it from anywhere else other than the SWIBIT?
No, that's why I'm asking if we do 5 from a miscellaneous, 10 from the SWIVIT, and then 5 from the health services. That will hold us from roughly till June. Then we'll have this problem again. The problem is that we're only receiving $13,000 a month. We have to pay that, a little over $1,000 for the income tax that we owe, that was held, and then the $20,000 for the ambulance. So it's hard for us to catch up, so that's why I'm asking if we can get the money from somewhere else. If not, we'll go negative in the bank, so.
What we did when we budgeted that amount is we looked at what we had been receiving from the health tax and all those, what revenue came in, and then we used those figures to plug in the numbers. Well, what's been happening is the tax rate, sales tax has been going down. And so, it's kind of hard to predict those kinds of things, but that's what's happening.
This is kind of our only option.
But the suite we
So we're obligated to pay 20, but we're generating 13. So we're $7,000 short every month.
So, yes, a couple of months back, we went ahead and paid all $20,000 from the SUBIT. So then 2 months ago or so, we were good. You know, we were saving the money, so we paid the $20,000 and then we paid the $20,000. But this time, I don't want to pay the $20,000 again from the SUBIT to, you know, build back again. That's why I'm asking only $10,000, because I feel that we shouldn't be taking so much out of our reserve.
But in July, we're going to be hit with another
We're going to be hit with this
another 3 months.
problem in
Another 3 months of.
And if the account hasn't generated enough, you'll have the same.
We'll have the same situation.
Exactly. So I just kind of estimated, I kind of did my own rough estimation that, yeah, in fact, in June is when we'll be hit again with not enough money, so we'll may have to take action again from the miscellaneous and from the SUBIT. Or between now and then, if I can find another solution, I will.
You know, within the same topic here, from the very beginning, I tried to convince the Emergency Service District to pick up the ambulance because it's under their purview. They can pick up the ambulance services. They charge a tax rate to the community, and they're charging at the lowest level. They still have ability to charge 1 or 2 cents more and pick up the ambulance. We can't upgrade to 1 or 2 cents more. In fact, we're either holding steady or going down because we're already capped. I haven't been able to convince them, but this is something that if it doesn't happen, we're going to be saddled with this over and over and over every year. It's an expense that really does not belong to the county. It belongs to the Emergency Services District, who can tax for fire and ambulance. But it's up to that board, and they haven't been willing to even look at raising the tax rate so they could take over the ambulance or create a new ambulance. I mean, so just for information, this is something that we need to.
Yes, I agree. I was going to also add that, but just to keep in mind that this is a yearly contract that we signed. So maybe when it comes up again, we can do proposals, or we need to look at something else, because right now we're not making it.
Judge Gonzalez, excuse me, this is Yolanda, she's with Airmed.
Yes, ma'am.
She's representing them today, she'll be on.
Can you lower your prices?
I didn't know if y'all knew who I wanted. Okay, well, my name's Yolanda, I'm going to be, I just joined the team for public relations and marketing. David Dos Santos is out of town on vacation, so they sent me out here. To be honest with you, I'm really not too sure on the proposals or how much, you know, they're getting, but we can look into it, and I will speak to Kenny and David, Mr. Dos Santos.
You know, you guys have been turned over backwards for us. One of the first things that I was going to tell you this morning is, let's work with them and delay the payment, see if.
I already did. I've already talked to y'all, and not you, but y'all. Yeah, and they were great, and I told them, look, we always pay you the first of the month, but now I'm here, and there's no money to pay you the first of the month, so we're not going to. And they were like, okay, but until our monies come in, then I can pay you. So roughly around the 10 to 15, I'll pay you, you know, of the month. And they said that was fine. That was fine, but now it's not fine anymore because we don't have that money. So yes, they do work with us, but I mean, there's nothing we can do when we don't have it in the bank.
I didn't want to interrupt, but we were all talking about it, and she was sitting here.
But no, I mean, you do work very good. Thank you. It's just something we do need to consider to go out. Okay, and then there's another one. Okay, there's one more. Now this one is going to be transferred. I'm going to ask for a money transfer. This is for Petra, the social services, right? thinks she handles social services. Okay, she right now has 8,000 budgeted in her grant 125, and she only has 4,000 in money, okay? Couple years back when the grant started, they only put $4,000 in there so she can get started with. She would expense it. Every time she would expense something, they would refund it. So it's been going good with us in the state. The problem is this year, she's expensing something over 4,000. Her van broke. It's been, I think, in Laredo for months now, and she needs to pay it. So together, it is a little over 5,000. Yes, a little over 5,000. So what I'm asking y'all is if we can please get 1,000 from the general fund. We're gonna get it. We're gonna pay the invoice. She's gonna get the reimbursement, and I'm gonna put 1,000 back. It's just that we just need to, give her the money right now to pay the invoice because she only has 4,000 in her account, and I'm not gonna pay it and go in. So that's another money transfer that we need. But she receives her refund, she says, in a couple weeks, like it's not too long, hopefully.
So basically, you're gonna get the money back.
Yes, we're getting the money back and I'm gonna put it back.
Those are the good ones.
Those are the good ones, we just have a ton of them. Just right, it comes in, yeah. So those are the 4 I have today.
There's nowhere else you can get the 5,000 anywhere else? Public buildings or wherever? Or 10?
Which one? Oh, for the ambulance?
For the swivel.
I cannot get it on public buildings. It's gonna, okay, public building is it general fund?
It's general.
It's general fund, so miscellaneous is general fund, so it's the same thing. So if I would say I'm getting out of public building and miscellaneous, it's the same bank account, so miscellaneous sounds better because if you have to report it, but, we're paying ambulance for public building repair, that doesn't,
All right, there's 4 amendments before you.
I move that we go ahead and pay up.
Thank you.
Motion been made to accept all 4 amendments as presented. Is there a second?
Second.
You're out of order, sir. You're supposed to vote against it. Second. All those in favor say aye.
Thank you.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. So, thank you. Item D. Approved time off for county employees to attend county fair activities on March 17th. And this came through, this came through scuttlebutt. Everybody started saying, in reality, what's happening, a lot of people have to take off. The kids have projects, they have things. And so Friday afternoon, we started losing all kinds of people.
Is it all day or just?
No.
It's all day.
It's in the-
It's all day, it's all good.
Because if you have the hours,
Yeah. That's what I think.
if you have the hours.
Secretary, that's Wednesday, Thursday.
So do you guys have the hours or what?
I don't know, well, I don't.
Well, usually we used to,
Yeah.
if you have the hours.
I don't clock in.
You don't clock in. You know, having the hours, you don't even have to come to get, we don't need to approve it because they do it individually. But that's why it's on the agenda. Use the hours. We could say, you know what, at 12 noon, the county offices will close because of
Okay, so the morning, if they decided the morning, it would be their hours, but after that, it's
right.
the county. Okay.
It would be under the county's permission.
So morning personal hours, after lunch.
Was all day first.
Now, if you get the hours to do the morning also, then that's up to you.
Well, then one all day they can get, I guess, right?
And the county doesn't get, they're not gonna pick up half?
Well, they're gonna get,
Pick up 3 hours. There was it from 9 to 12. Right? That would be personal time.
Yeah, personal time. And then the county will pick up 4 hours. Unless the county wants to pay the whole day. We want to pay, can we pay the whole day?
but it's under, it's,
$12?
They work hard, they haven't gotten a raise in a few years.
Yes, let's give them the whole day.
How many years?
Like 10 years.
I'll tell you what, I'll move because we, our employees are dedicated.
Right.
They work minimum hours, so they need a little.
I mean, they have the hours, they can get it
The whole day.
The whole day, very good, Beto.
the whole day.
The whole day.
So there's a motion to approve county employees
Courthouse will be closed.
not to work on Friday, and give them time to attend because of the fair.
Very nice.
I'll second that.
Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign, motion carries.
I'm sure our employees will be very grateful to you
Yes,
all.
thank you. Thank you on behalf of my department.
Thank you.
Thank you, on behalf of
Go to the fair, pay the fee to get in.
Go spend your money out there.
We need the money too.
That's right, you need the money for the budget.
Letter is discuss action on the installation of internet and phone service for Morgan Building.
Yes, that's me. I was approached by by the constables. Y'all put the constables in there, and the dog catcher's also in there, and they were asking for phone and internet. So I asked Ogun how much that would cost, and we're thinking about $150. That's it.
For the year?
Yeah, that's just to install it. We pay him already on a monthly basis, so he's gonna do the labor for free. I have a computer, my auditing department, so I'm gonna lend him my computer, 'cause I'm so nice. And, but I'm just giving them I think they just need one computer and one phone. That's it. It's a very small building. They can share that. We have an extra phone here. I want to say in one of the trailers here, there's 3 people working there, and there's 5 phones that we're paying for already. So I'm asking if they can just move one of the phones there, that they'll have the same phone as us here with the extension.
These are digital phones?
Your voice over IP phones, they work on
Voice, yeah.
different network.
But they have, all those people have their own cell phones.
No, the constables,
Yes,
they don't.
yeah.
Personal.
Oh, they have,
Personal.
they have personal, but not
Personal?
by the county. That's right. They have their personal cell phones. They don't have the county cell phones.
But the constables are not there
No, they're
a whole
not.
lot of time.
They're not there all the time, but they're just asking for it. I'm just letting y'all know it's gonna be $150.
Well, I can see the internet service, because I do have to do reports and stuff like that.
Yes, well, we're not paying for the phone service. The $150 is to install the internet.
Oh, okay.
The phone is free because we already have it, we're already paying for it. There's 2 over here in one of the trailers that aren't being used. So we're not paying anything for the phone, we're just moving it there because there's gonna be 5 people in that building. Back and forth, I don't know. But we're paying the $150 for the internet, because they're gonna have to go and they're gonna have to do the wire. Now, if y'all don't even want the phone in there, and y'all wanna leave it over here, then we don't have to do the wiring, and they can just come off of Wi-Fi, but they can't come off of Wi-Fi with a desktop, they would need a laptop. So, it would be,
Why?
We'd have to get a card.
they would need a card, and then I would have to pay for the card, and I'm like, might as well just put the wire for $150 and put them a desktop, they can all share that, they can all do their reports, all 4 constables and the dog catcher.
We don't have a laptop floating around that they can use rather than a desktop?
No.
We have one that we were gonna use here, and it
I
never
have a
worked.
laptop in I didn't know if y'all insist on that way, and y'all want me to give up my laptop.
Well, are you using it, the laptop?
I don't know.
It's not a tablet, is it?
I have no, it's not a tablet.
See, we can find a laptop.
Was no good. We couldn't get it to fit.
No, I think it failed.
Yeah.
That's why we bought that one.
So with a laptop, it can get Wi-Fi, but with a desktop, you cannot.
Right, the desktop it would take, we would have to buy that network switch, and he's gonna take care of the labor.
I have the old laptop that was here in my office.
You wanna give him an old laptop?
Are you using it?
That was the judges.
Well, we couldn't get it to work here.
No, it was crashing because it was just.
Yeah, it crashed every time.
Okay, so it's not,
But they're not gonna be, well,
They're not gonna be doing much.
they're not gonna be doing much.
take it
They
home.
won't even, I'm gonna say the reports. Commissioner's report.
The constables are saying they're gonna have to send off some reports to the state concerning
Yes.
racial
Wait,
profiling.
yeah, they have to do that.
So that's why
Once a
we're
year.
gonna do that. Just what y'all want me to do, what y'all want me to pay, I don't know.
The networking equipment is a one-time cost. We're gonna take the wire that kind of goes across, connect it in the room, and then devices can plug in, such as a phone, a computer.
How many computers could you plug into it?
It's an 8-port switch, so
8-port.
up to 7 devices. Actually, it'll be 6. We got one coming in and one going back out to the other trailers.
For 150. One time.
One-time deal.
One time.
So moved.
Not $5 a month.
No.
I'm moving that.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the phone service at Morgan. Internet service. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Item F, discuss and approve RCI payment.
Okay, that one's mine again. I send out emails just letting y'all know that the RCI company is gonna be here today. Y'all are probably already familiar with RCI. They come, they do inventory on the whole county. It's every 2 years.
The one with the
It's
little,
Yeah, the one with the little things, and they scan everything that's 500 or more. So, they will be here around 11:30 today, and we'll start today. Hopefully it doesn't take us that long, a couple of days. I just wanted to let y'all know that that's gonna be done. I'll give y'all a report when that's done and see if we have anything missing or anything added. I'm asking y'all if y'all can approve my payment. I'm gonna have to give them $3,150. Right now, I'm gonna have to send off the payment because they need it after they complete their work here. And then I'm gonna send off the remaining money after I get the report from them. This money was already budgeted in my account.
it's not from the Swift.
It's not from the
Okay.
It's from the auditor's office. But I'm gonna also tell y'all this. I hope, I don't wanna guarantee it, but I really hope so. I asked them if they can come and train one of my employees to learn how to do this system. We already have the gun. They're gonna give us a CD to install the system into our computer, because I hope that we get to go away from having to pay this and my office can just do it instead of getting contracted. I told y'all in previous meetings I really want to take on more, so I hope that we can do this. So we're going to try. We're going to work together. In the email, I'll let everybody know that there will be somebody with their team at all times, whether it's Lydia or whether it's myself, and they won't be alone going through different closets and stuff, but they'll need access to every drawer, everything. And the email also says if you have anything personal, like your own laptop, I know I have my iPad there in my office, it needs to be marked with a little Post-it saying my personal property, that way they won't then go and claim it. Okay, the county claims it. So, other than that, that's it, and I just need you to approve my payment so I can send off the check.
So moved.
Motion to approve RCI payment, $3,150. Second? Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Item G is the renew standard rental service agreement for Cintas.
That one was tabled,
Yeah. That was tabled last week or 2 weeks
yeah,
ago.
that one was tabled 3 meetings ago,
Yeah, it was.
in order for them to send me the new contract and for them to come and talk, so they did come and talk, and they said, so if y'all are ready to make an action on it, to approve it, that way I can go ahead and pay their agreement, so y'all can get the motor pool and everything else.
I move on that.
Nothing has changed, right?
Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed since the presentation that they given me. The price went up from last year.
Uh-oh.
But I think y'all have it budgeted.
Yeah.
So it's budgeted?
Yeah, it's budget.
Second.
I move on that.
And there's a couple here that employees that are getting uniforms, but they were terminated between then and now or something. So I guess the price is gonna drop a little bit.
Okay, good.
The judge is not here. Yes.
There's a motion on the floor, Judge, for the for the renewal of the Cintas contract, and there's a second.
Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries.
H, I believe.
H,
Okay, that one was, also tabled. This is the DA's request for his remodel upstairs. It was tabled because I wanted to talk to him about other options, because right now the county's not, in good financial standing to be paying for renovations. So I did get to talk to him. I talked to him on the phone, and he came to my office, and we came up with a great agreement, and the county did not pay for the renovations. He covered the renovations with, other monies from his forfeiture, and I think from Star. So I think that Star came in and went ahead and took care of it. So nothing came out of public buildings, nothing came out of our general fund, so.
That's
That was
great.
great for us.
that's the best one so far.
Yes, it was very good.
Well, I was gonna make the motion on that.
So there's no action on it?
No, so the reason why I think we do need action, that it's done.
Okay.
So a motion that the project has been completed
So
with no county funds. Motion made, is there a second? Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. We're down to item J, approved veterans van driver contract. And this is just a contract within the grant?
This contract is, Solano, well, we're gonna need it for a rent, correct, sir?
Yeah, it's an existing grant, and this is just the van driver.
We need it in order to, when Alicia was setting up a report, they asked her that we need the contract, if we have the contract with the van driver, because I think that they sent us the monies to pay the van driver, and they just wanted to make sure that we had signed an agreement. So she asked him to draw something up, and he did, and we needed it approved and signed before the van driver signed it.
This is our same employee, he's employed with us. Once in a while he drives, the grant is requesting some type of an agreement
Yes.
for grant purposes.
Right.
So it's more like a formality than anything.
The question I have is, he's an independent contractor, correct? Well, that's what it says on the
Yeah,
contract.
I think the way I understood it, because I had asked that question also, he's an employee by the county part-time
4 hours.
for 4 hours, and then the grant picks him up when he drives. So this is, I guess he's contracted through the grant to drive the van, and that's what he gets paid that money, and that's why he needs this contract. Does that make
Okay,
sense?
well, the document says, is an independent contractor with respect to this contract.
For driving purposes.
For driving purposes. My question is he insurable through the county?
I don't.
He's an employee, he's insured, yeah?
Insured, excuse me, sir, the van has to be insured to cover the driver and the passengers.
So we're providing insurance for an independent contractor, correct?
In essence, we are, but we have to cover the van, whoever drives it.
I understand we need the insurance.
Yes.
I'm just looking at the legal part of it. Can the county pay the insurance while a independent contractor is performing the work?
That's legal, I don't know.
And in this case, the independent contractor is an employee, already covered through our insurance.
But not the time he's driving?
No, he's part-time.
But-
So then maybe you're saying that he needs to reword the contract?
No, I'm saying, I just want to know if he's insured.
Yeah, I understand what you're asking, but I couldn't answer. Sorry. Maybe,
But, because normally a contractor provides
his own coverage.
his own coverage.
Right.
That's provided for in his contract.
Right, but yeah, the grant doesn't give us money.
It's a little,
And I don't personally have a problem with it as long as the liability doesn't come back to Jim Hall County in the event of an accident.
well, I would imagine that if he's not covered, then it would be a problem.
That's correct.
I'm wondering if Mr. Gutierrez is available.
He's over there. No. Can you call him? He's in the hallway, please.
The insurance coverage is not an individual coverage, it's a vehicle coverage. And the vehicle is covered for anybody driving that is either contracted for or an employee. This is why you guys were gonna drive at one time, remember? He wanted to drive the van
Yeah,
because,
we drove.
and that would have been no problem because you guys are employees and it'd be part of that.
Yeah, but you have to designate him as a driver, as an approved driver under the term.
And we were at that point, but we didn't need to, because that's at the time that we hired the veterans.
In other words, if I have an employee to drive my vehicle, I have to name him that he's authorized to use the vehicle.
On the coverage,
On the coverage.
yes. Well, we can find that out.
Well, there's your attorney.
If he's not authorized to drive that vehicle, nobody is, because that's a veterans insurance, that's a veterans program, correct?
The thing was really, what was it?
As an employee, I can see he can drive it because he's covered under the county insurance.
But he's not, because he's part-time.
Well, that's what I mean, when he gets off his part-time and goes to driving, he's a, this
That
kicks in.
makes sense. So he tracks different hours for us for his grant.
And like I say, I don't have a problem with it as long as we know that the county has authorized him the use and driving the vehicle and it's covered.
That's exactly what this does.
Yeah.
I don't believe
That's
it
what
does.
he is contact. If you want me to, I can contact maybe.
It says here,
Lone Star.
Jose Herrera acknowledges Jim Hawk County's obligation to obtain appropriate insurance coverage for the benefit of the driver and passengers for both bodily damage and property damage in the least amount required for motor carriers by the applicable federal and state laws or regulations. So it's saying here that he is saying that the county is covering him.
So
It's in the document.
Mr. Gutierrez is here, I don't know if you can.
Rudy.
The van belongs to the county.
Yes?
Yeah, I mean, it should be listed as one of the vehicles.
Yeah, but when
And the
he's
driver-
driving it, he's a independent contractor. He's not an employee.
Well, I think as long as he's listed on.
As long as he's listed on the coverage, is he listed?
Ask Julie.
Has to be.
Well, if it's not listed, we would have to.
You have to list him, yeah. And
And
that's,
you might want to keep up with that because, I'm just thinking about that with the sheriff here. Every time the sheriff changes deputies, you have to make sure that they get added on to.
and the new deputy gets in.
You have a list of those,
Oh, boy, sorry.
of the certified employees that can drive, have good?
I don't think so. I can go and check. One thing that I was doing last week was going through our filing cabinet and looking at all the titles and every vehicle that we had, and Nora provided me a list of everything at the motor pool, and I was just making sure I had a list of all the vehicles, and I don't think I have the list of the people.
You can have a list of all the employees covered under our insurance.
Right.
Should I have that, or should
No, Julie's
I
supposed
should
to
have
have
that?
that.
Julie,
Julie's supposed to have it.
Julie,
Julie's the.
ma'am, can you call Julie, please?
I can have a copy, but I'm
Yes.
not gonna keep something back.
While we're finding this out,
Uh-huh.
I've had complaints on the driver,
Okay.
and I think,
Oh, do we need to discuss that in open session?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
And that person.
There's the insurance,
This is personnel matters.
personnel, we can go.
Okay, I can wait.
Ma'am, do you have the list of the, what was it? Who wanted to know the,
Is Jose Herrera on the list of people covered?
Everybody that gives us our driver's license is listed as a driver.
Has anybody who what?
Gives us our driver's license. All the employees that gives us their driver's license.
Okay, he's
is
not an
listed.
employee. While you're driving the veterans van, he's not an employee.
He's
So
a
then why is
part-time.
he driving the veterans van?
That's what I'm asking.
did he give you the copy of the license?
I don't think
No,
necessarily
he-
has to be an
he-
employee. He just,
You have a copy of the license?
Yeah, the treasurer's office has a copy. The treasurer's office holds everybody's copies.
So then,
Of the Herrera?
then he can drive, right?
No,
But
but they're
he's-
talking about the insurance, Julie, not the treasurer's office.
No, what she's saying that the
That's how
driver's
we
license.
hold, that's how we hold the driver's license, because I can't hold them.
Oh,
When they give you their copy,
Yes.
that shows that they are an eligible driver, so they're legal to drive, so that's, you all are the ones that hold the copy. So what was the question?
That was the question. That was the question.
The question is, as an independent contractor, is he covered? Is the county has the insurance for the benefit of the driver and passenger?
Because he's a part-timer?
No, as an independent contractor.
Because, the
That's-
veterans
that's
grant,
for road
we get
classes.
we get a grant from the state, and they pay for somebody to drive the veterans van that we own, because I did have to put that in RTI.
Okay, so if we own the van, then we are liable for the people that are in the van.
Right, and the person who drives it. And you have his license, so he can drive it.
And that van can take off at 9 in the morning while he's on duty and not come back until 9 o'clock at night. So he finishes his 4 hours and he gets into the contract and he's covered all the way through.
All I'm trying to say is, we are sure we have that coverage. Okay? That's the question.
Oh, that's Jay, okay. So we need to, is there a motion to approve the veterans van driver contract as presented?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carries. Item K, approve documents to initiate the construction phase of the airport development project for the Jim Hall County Airport. Project number AP Jim Hall County 3 SJC, and there's a number for the airport. And we've been working on this for a year and a half.
And I have a lot of questions on it, because
Let me give you an intro, and then you can ask questions. This was approved, it's a grant, and finally went to Commissioners Court. They went out for bids for engineering. Engineering was awarded. We had engineers. The engineers now went out for bid for construction. Bids were awarded. The construction was identified at the state level. The bids were accepted there. Now we have engineers, we have construction. We've already paid, they asked for our 10%. We've already paid that out. Now we're at the point where they're sending us a bunch of documents just to verify everything that has taken place up to this point so that they can go ahead and start the actual construction. I'm not sure, you read through all of it? Does it have anything about Commissioner's Court approval? What item is this?
This is the airport project participation agreement.
Yeah.
Which requires your signature and the attorney's signature.
That's all. And we were gonna do that, and I said, no, just because you are new, I wanted to put it on there so everybody knows, well, where we're at and where this thing is going, because they're gonna begin construction pretty soon.
Yeah, I understand that, and I'm for the project. My only concern is that basically we're giving full control to TxDOT on this. They're doing everything. Who in the county is being briefed as to what is happening? Is that you?
Me and the Commissioner Alanis.
Well, then I formally request that the other commissioners be informed of what's happening.
Well, that's why it's on the table right now, to inform you guys what's happening. These things don't happen every day, every other
I
day.
understand that, Judge, but how can you ask us to agree on an agreement if we haven't briefed on it?
I'm not asking you to agree on an agreement. I'm presenting this to give you notice that we're going to sign that agreement, because we're already committed to this. We're not approve or disapprove the project right now. That's not what's on the table.
I'm not saying that.
Okay.
All I'm saying is that if you and Commissioner Alanis are the ones that are in charge of this, that's fine. If we have a cost overrun, what's our portion of it?
Like any other project, if we have cost overruns on any of our grants, it's the county's responsibility.
So that means, according to this agreement, any cost overrun is only eligible for 25% from TxDOT. We'd have to cover 75%.
That's right.
Do we have the money to cover?
No, because there's not going to be no overrun. They've already bid it in.
We don't have, as I read the agreement, we don't have any say-so in this. It's their call, and only their call.
They can do it within the confines of what we have contracted. They cannot go above without our permission. If all of a sudden there's a cost overrun, they need to come here and say, okay, we're running over, and then we can say no. But they're not going to do it automatically and turn around and say, okay, Jim Hall County, Now you owe us $100,000. That's not gonna happen. It doesn't happen in projects like this that are multi-million-dollar projects, because that's not their process, that's not the way they work.
The sponsor grants the state a power of attorney to act as its agent to perform the following services. And it says here, everything, there's one item in here that I hope we're not in non-compliance. And, we are agreeing the construction agent, which is the state of Texas, participate in bid, pre-bid and pre-construction conferences and issues orders as it deems appropriate regarding construction progress, including but not limited to notice to proceed, stop work orders, and change orders. Cost overrun will require change order. All I want to make
And the
sure is,
changeover comes to this point.
show it to me there.
Change order, they can't do change orders without the Commissioner's Court approval. How can they do a change order without the Commissioner's Court approval? Even though we've given them the power of attorney to do that, they
I'm
can't do
gonna
it.
defer to
I am
Mr.
too.
Gutierrez.
Let's go.
Ándale.
¿Y te puedes?
I don't recall if, is this, are we at the point where it's already been bid out and?
It's.
I don't know.
It's, let me repeat again, okay? For everybody's purpose, so nobody can say I don't know. This project has been on the table for a year and a half. The Commissioner's Court approved it as a grant, okay? We worked with TxDOT, we were gonna pay 20%. We recognized that, we signed the agreements. It went out for bids for engineering, we got engineers, went out for bid for construction, and it doesn't go out for bid here, it goes out of bid at the state level. Has gone out of bid, a construction company has been selected, and they're ready to begin. We've already paid our $225,000?
219,000.
200 plus.
Okay. Yeah, so this is the final process before they begin construction. What they're doing is they're making sure that you and I understand what we've done up to this point. Because you're gonna have to sign off, and I'm gonna have to sign off.
Right.
And I'm bringing it to the Commissioner's Court so that they know what we're doing.
But the only thing I don't like also is a power of attorney. When you give a power of attorney to somebody, you're out of the loop. That's bad.
Okay, then let's just not approve this.
No, I just
No.
want clarification.
Well,
If what you're saying, that a sponsor, which is Jim County, will be contacted on all changes to the construction and all that stuff, I don't have a problem with that. Even we have a say-so of saying yes or no. But I have a problem when you give it to somebody else, and they're making all the decisions, expecting the sponsor to pay for them.
see, right now, we're playing under the general rules that we have accepted. We have the top.
Okay, let me hit you with another one while we're at it. Do we have a contract with somebody to sell fuel out there?
No.
We don't have a contract with a guy from Falfurrias anymore?
That we sell? No, we don't.
No. That we have a contract. Let me read it to you. This is under sponsor's responsibilities. In accepting this agreement, the sponsor guarantees that F, it shall not grant or permit anyone to exercise an exclusive right for conduct of aeronautical activities on the above airport landing area. Aeronautical activities include, but are not limited to, scheduled airline flights, charter flights, flight instructions, aircraft sales, rentals and repairs, sale of aviation petroleum products, and aerial applications.
To my understanding, we do not control the sale of the gasoline or the fuel. Somebody else takes care of that.
But we allow them to do that.
Yeah, we're supposed to get
Some type of agreement that they can
Yeah.
operate under.
I'm just saying, are we gonna be in violations there? I'm for the grant. I just wanna make sure that we're all right with it.
I think I lost you somewhere in the middle.
That agreement, but I don't know that it's an exclusive agreement that, in other words, if if somebody else wants to
Yeah.
sell, I don't know. if that person has
We made an
right.
agreement with Alpurrias or somebody that they're gonna sell because of the density of the fuel, it changes, and then we're gonna be liable if something happens, they're gonna say, oh, it was the gasoline's fault, and we didn't want that.
All I'm saying, Rudy,
Out there, does that belong to the county or does that belong to?
The what?
Belongs to them.
Belongs to them.
I think there's another company from Laredo also set up some,
Or somebody else that
at
that's
some
not
point,
county.
we had two.
In other words, the beginning of that section there talks about exclusive, the county hasn't given somebody the exclusive right
Right.
to do any of those things. I don't think the county gave that company exclusive.
No,
rights.
which is
Somebody
not-
else wants to put up a tank out there, I mean, with permission, but.
Yeah.
I know we have a contract
The county
with
doesn't say, well, you can't go in, only this person can sell.
Right.
Now, on the deal of the power attorney, when you get, in my understanding, when you give a power attorney to somebody, that you're out of the loop, right?
Not necessarily.
Oh, okay.
it depends on the power attorney, on the
Well,
document.
in other words, it doesn't mean that you can't sign anymore. I mean, it's normally done with people like going in a nursing home or something. And they do it in anticipation that they're not going to be able to they're not going to be competent to sign something. But if they're still competent, they can still sign on their own.
But I'm talking about like,
You know, your rights complete.
Okay, it does require your signature, Rudy,
Yeah.
so I don't have a problem. If Rudy says that we're all right, we're all
I
right.
look at it. I don't know if I looked at it. I don't remember about.
I think went up.
You probably didn't because, you
Nobody
came on
signed it yet.
March the 6th of 2017, so you've been here for 2 weeks, you haven't read it.
or when is the deadline, or
Yes, we are. We have to submit it back by March 22nd.
what are we doing now?
So we can read it,
But Rudy, can you read it?
can read it and then you can table it?
I don't know what.
We can approve it subject to Houston
Yeah,
Congress.
basically, check to see if there's, the proper bonds were posted. That's what I'm going to be looking at.
My deal is, Rudy, is like Humberto, Mr. Martin was saying, if they want to add on $300,000 more, well, we have to pay, what, 75%?
Well, the grant is a 90-10, start out. They're providing 90%, the town's providing 10%. But it does refer to, if there is an overrun in the eligible project costs, the state may increase the grant to cover the amount of overruns not to exceed the statutory 25% limitation and will advise the sponsor by amendment of the increase. Upon receipt of the amendment, the maximum obligation of the state is adjusted to the amount specified, and the sponsor will remit their share of the increased grant amount. If the sponsor does not move forward with construction, they shall reimburse the state 100% of all costs under contract and are expended at the point of notification, and the project will not be completed. All I'm saying is, we have to be aware of what's in the agreement. And if everybody's in consensus of it, that's all I'm trying to do. I do read everything that's in here.
Yeah, I read, but I don't understand some of the stuff.
I do read all the reports too.
That's why I hire attorneys.
I make a motion to approve the agreement, subject to Mr. Gutierrez.
Rudy.
If he's in agreement, then you're authorized to sign.
Ándale, Rudy.
Yeah, we can't sign it without his signature.
No, he needs to sign. It's on the document.
Yeah, of course. All right, there's a motion to that effect. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. Item L, doesn't approve, let me give you my copy.
That's the original, Judge.
Yeah, the original, he's got to look at it. Where are we?
Yeah.
Approve pay bill from Stark County for the Texas Indigent Defense Commission grant. Que no se nos vayan muy lejos.
Okay.
Rudy?
Rudy?
Come back, Rudy. It's your grant, but, I mean, it's our grant, but he's
Oh, yeah.
in charge of the indigent program.
I can give you my copy.
Go ahead.
Okay, here, this grant is a tri-agreement between Duval, ourselves, and STAR. I've been working closely with them, and it's gone great. We paid our payment. But up until last week, I got a call from STAR,
You
the
need a copy?
auditor's office, that they were not aware that we had to pay 100% of the grant. We thought, they thought at the very beginning, and what I was informed with, was that the state, the first year, helps us with 80%, and we fund 20. The third year, it's 60%, and we fund 40. So the second year, 60, 40, and the third year is 50-50. So we were aware of that. Well, STAR called me that the state contacted them that we have to upfront the 100%, and then they'll reimburse us with 80. So I have some papers here if y'all would like to see them, kind of a format of calculation. And I received this bill from STAR that y'all have in front of y'all that we owe $53,000 for the grant, okay? With that being said, we're gonna pay that amount. It's actually $59,598 is the amount we're gonna pay for the year. We've already paid $5,959 because we thought that was our 20%. Or we're 7% of the 20%. Okay. Duval was 13 and then the rest. So we've already paid that. So right now our balance is $53,638. We will get reimbursed $41,718. So that means all we're actually paying at the end of the year would be $11,919. Last year we paid $32,000 out of our pocket for Texas Indigent. So this is actually helping us quite a bit. So right now, so it seems okay, and I'm working very closely with the county attorney. He's helping me a lot understand all this, and he has also some reports of his own that he shows me. That way I can have it here in my file. So I just wanted to inform y'all about that, and I'm asking y'all if we could please pay this out of the SWIBIT.
Again.
That is the only place we have the money, but it's going to get reimbursed, and I'll put it all back to the SWIBIT. I'll put back the 41,718. So I'm asking y'all if we could pay 4 monthly payments of $13,409.55. That adds up to the amount of $53,638.20. Okay, that way we'll pay four monthly payments, and within the 4 months we'll be done, and then we'll be expecting our refunds back after that.
So what you're asking is to pay the full amount all the way through September,
Yes.
and then we'll get reimbursed
And
back.
we'll get reimbursed slowly. Because we're going to be paying that amount to STAR. So then STAR's going to pay our amount and Duval's amount, and then they're going to pay the quarterly payments to the state. Then the state's going to turn around and reimburse STAR, and then STAR's going to disperse to Jim Hogg and Duval. So we're going to have to, it's going to be a little, not too long, because I talked to them and I told them we're going to want our reimbursement back here. And
How long does it take to get the reimbursement?
I have to ask them depending on when they're going to pay it, because I'm not sure. Okay, our piece is roughly $14,000, yes, a quarter.
$14,899.50.
Okay. STARS is, a big amount.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, and Duval's is a really big amount also. So I'm not sure how long it's going to take them to come up with the money, but that we're overdue already because we didn't know that we have to pay the 100%.
But we won't be reimbursed
Until
STAR and Duval make their payment.
Yes, because we're a trial agreement. So that's why I'm going to call them and let them know that we're going to pay within this, but y'all need to pay the quarterly payment and we need to get the refund.
But what happened to the $35,000 that they didn't pay us, or they didn't, what was it? When I first came in. You remember, Sheriff?
When you first came in?
Yeah, 10 years ago. I'm that old. What was it?
No, but that was one of
Something
the,
else?
yeah, that was one of the sheriff's grants.
Oh, okay.
Which kind of act the same way. They pay up front, and then
Yeah, and that's fine, as long as we know that Star Duval is also going to pay on time and everybody gets reimbursed at the same time.
And you know, I talked to her name's Leticia Alanis from Stark County, and she's just been doing a wonderful job in informing me about this grant, because at first, I got the invoice for $5,959, and I was like, whoa, I'm not paying this. And then I was calling them, and I was calling Duval, and Duval had budgeted it, and I was calling them, and I wanted to know more. So then they told me everything about it, and then I finally paid the invoice. Well, then they were scared to send me this. I was like, I wouldn't even pay $5,000. So she attached through email all these different. She typed this up for me, and it's all the breakdown of how much they're paying and Duval paying. She attached this another letter. She even gave me an invoice of the public defender's office contract and the invoice of the public defender that they're hiring. So she's sending me everything, so I do have record of everything to make sure that we're paying, the attorneys and making sure that's getting paid. And also Rudy has a record of the attorneys that are getting hired through them and everything. So cross our fingers it all works out the way we expected.
Well, I'll make a motion to pay.
Out of the civet. And right now, if you want to know, I'm going to pay it out of the emergency use of the civet, and right now the balance is $161,000.
Okay, motion to pay the Indigent Defense Commission grant, our portion of it, $41,718, is that correct? And in 4 installments?
The $53,638 and 20 cents.
Say that again?
$53,638 and 20 cents.
And once we get caught up, then it'll be quarterly, right? We'll send a quarterly payment. Then
No, that's
paid for
gonna be
you,
it.
that's it.
No, but I'm saying for next year.
Okay, so the next year is a whole different ballgame but it should be roughly the same amount because we're gonna have to do that. But no, because next year it's the 60-40, so it's probably gonna actually be double this. So next year when we come up to the budget year and we need to start budgeting this, we're gonna have to budget a lot more. That reminds me of something also. Right now in what we have budgeted under the general fund, 43488, which is court-appointed attorneys, indigent defense, we budgeted $20,000 and we've already expensed $19,000, and it's March. And that's an addition of paying this grant.
So, but that one's gonna stop because this grant kicks in, it's already kicked in, right?
It's already kicked in
Yeah.
and we're still paying attorneys.
Most of that 19,000 was early in the year
Yeah.
when
the grant
district court
wasn't.
was still appointing individual attorneys.
Well, and then there's also some conflicts, like you said. He had explained to me because we're still kind of also back paying attorneys, so that kind of affects it also, so.
Yeah, in other words, they're not going to handle 100% of the cases.
Yeah.
Because they may have a conflict on individual cases where the court will have
Right.
to. Plus, it also doesn't cover CPS cases.
But also, last year we spent $32,000, and we budgeted $40,000. This year they cut it half, and y'all only budgeted $20,000. So.
And the reason we
That's what
did
we're
that was because this grant was gonna come in into
and
play.
take it, and we paid the $5,000 out of this fund. So that can also be why it's already almost, at the budget.
Bottom line, we have no control.
But I will say we're getting our money's worth.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
The
It's a
cost
good,
per case is.
when that grant goes away, guess what? We pay 100%.
Right.
Anybody needs an attorney, indigent, we provide it, and we pay for it. That's the county's role. Okay.
Second, or Your Honor.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carries. Okay, item 1703-014, adopt resolution supporting the construction and operation of a refinery to be built in Duval County by Raven Petroleum, A21. Okay, before we have a little presentation, I want to introduce Marisa Utley. Marisa Utley is a consultant that works for different entities, but we're going to engage her with Raven through a grant that we have. We applied for a $25,000 grant that has been approved. Last Friday, we got word that it has been approved. The grant goes through Texas A&M International University. They are the fiscal agent. They provide the funds, they pay out the funds, and then they collect the grant. And so we don't do anything with it. We're just part of it. So, but through that grant, she's going to do some services for us in terms of community accessibility and so on and so forth. And we're at the point right now where I think this project is beginning to come out and be very clear about what it is so we're going to show you a short PowerPoint.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Your last name was Utley?
Yes.
From Benavides?
My ex-husband's family. I'm Garcia from Benford.
Okay.
Marisa Garcia, very beautiful name. Where we
There's only about 100 Garcias in Benville.
Only.
My wife included.
Yes.
Is that the first one? Yeah, our seal is the first one, because I just wanted to let you all know that we are part of this in terms of the community, the people, the businesses. This county is going to be affected by this project tremendously in many different ways. So even though it's not in Jim Hall County, it's in Duval County, it affects us. So this is called the South Texas Energy Complex, the Raven Refinery. It started out as another name, morphed into Raven, and now morphed into South Texas Energy Complex. It's becoming a little bit more sophisticated. They're doing more things, planning more things for the future, and it's in Duval County. Okay. The petroleum moves forward, plans to build a refinery in South Texas. That is the word we're getting, is that they are moving forward. They are progressing on all those things that they need to do. Eventually, they're going to need two things, and number one is TCEQ approval for the engineering, for the design and all that, including environmental and all those things. So that is moving forward for them to be able to do that. From what I understand, all the financial part of it is secured, and they're ready to move on. Everybody's seen this flyer, which gives you in detail what this program is going to be. This refinery is going to be able to process 55,000 barrels of crude, and they're going to build 20 miles within the refinery for railroad to go in and come out with the final product. It is in Duval County, and I think I gave you all a copy of this, right? So, and the map is hard to read, but Duval County, at the very corner of Duval County, 359 cuts through that. And so it's actually about 5 miles of Duval County. So you come out of Jim Hall County 6 miles, you're into Duval for 5 miles, and then you're into Webb County after that. So it's a very corner of it. That's where they managed to purchase over 800 acres. The refinery is going to include only 200 acres. And the rest of them is for further development, from what we're told. These are their faces, by the way, and they've been meeting with the 3 judges, including, I don't know why I cut Rocky's face there. No, it was supposed to cover. But the gentleman on the right is Chris Moore. He's the CEO, executive. The gentleman in the middle is the CFO, and they've been working at this from the very beginning. A year and a half ago that they walked into my office and said, we're visiting the 3 counties. This is what we're proposing. We don't want this to be out in the community because we're not ready for that. At some point we may retreat from this, but this is where we're at. And there's been no retreat so far. It's all been a go-ahead. So their contact with the counties has been the county judges. That's the way they developed it, that's the way they hold on to it. They've never been out to a community meeting where the whole community has been, but they're going to. In fact, I'll tell you a little bit about the grant and a date that has been set, but...
Who's the gentleman's name?
It's Rocky,
No, the one you
Tom Puente
Okay.
and Chris Moore. Okay.
Who's the CEO?
Chris
Tom
Moore.
Puente.
Chris Moore. Okay. Just recently, this was noticed out in this agreement was signed in San Antonio maybe about a month ago. The geothermal company will provide 100% renewable power and carbon sequestration capabilities. And this was new to me. I really didn't understand geothermal. Engineers do, but this is the latest in energy. Besides sun power and solar power and the fossil fuels and so, this is the latest. And what this technology is, they go 12,000, they drill a well 12,000 feet to where the water, the brackish water down there is over 150 degrees. And that they will use that energy, they will use that steam to power the plant. And there will be 8 of those scattered all around the refinery. So there's no pollution in terms of electricity or burning or any stuff. What this does also is whatever carbons need to be controlled, they'll flush them down that same well and burn them when they get to the bottom of it. So there's only one other facility in Texas that has geothermal energy, and that's in West Texas, where they were building some type of, and University of Texas built that. So this is the second. What they have actually done, they have bought that company that they're signing with, because they've got other projects that they're going to be doing. So Raven actually is going to own the geothermal company that's operating in Texas. What does it say? We'll rely on high-temperature brackish water from deep underground and later on refinery and zone carbon dioxide emissions for power. Something else? The refinery's emissions are captured and pumped deep underground where it becomes supercritical. That means it'll be burned. The supercritical carbon dioxide will then be used to fuel source for the geothermal power plant's turbines. Now, I'm no engineer, so I can only deduct what I'm reading here. South Texas Energy and Economic Roundtable President Omar Garcia said refinery project is an example of balancing economic development with the environment. Get it, Mark? The goal is to have the cleanest refinery, period. Raven's designs will have concrete sealed containments. That means nothing is going to be on ground. It's all going to be under concrete, so quick cleanups if they need to do anything like that. If a spill occurs, it will be recovered, pumped, and back in and reprocessed. No need for excavating and cleaning dirt. Environmental concerns. We've all heard that there is concern in the community, especially in our neighboring county. People are against this project. They voice their opinion. They've got signs all over the place. And basically, what I've assessed from their concerns, they have really 2 concerns. They have the prevailing winds, which they claim is going to affect the school there. And my only observation in dealing with them is if you see where the wind farms are lined up, those are the prevailing winds. So there's, that is not 100% that the prevailing winds are going to go right into.
Usually the prevailing winds are southeast.
And the proximity to schools of the existing refineries in Corpus and Three Rivers, one refinery is 6 blocks away from an elementary school. And that's the one in Three Rivers. The other 5 are on an average of below 2 miles, less than 2 miles. So refineries are within communities, they're within neighborhoods, they're within schools. This one is 6 miles away from anything on one side and another 7 miles from anything on the other side. So I think that issue can be countered that way. It's still, all of us still have concerns. This is a refinery at the end of the day. It does what it does. It handles very volatile fluids and so on and so forth. But those other refineries, we have 40-year-old technology that existed for years, and they're operating normally. This one has renewed technology that hasn't been used in Texas in 40 years. For the first time, we build a refinery in the United States within 40 years. So, it promises to be the best technology available, green energy, and so I think that's why a lot of people, once they hear some of this message, they realize, well, this is not as bad as the people are trying to make it. Go ahead. The economic, remember when we started out, there was a tri-county, and we all signed an agreement that we would be part of the tri-county. At that point, it was a tri-county consortium. Well, Webb County at some point decided they were, or at least the county judge decided he wasn't going to support this. And so there's a new alliance now. Coming on board will be, besides Jim Hall County, Duval County, and Webb County, they're still part of it. They're just saying that they can't support it this time, or at least the county judge did. Zapata County is coming on board, Brooks County is coming on board, Jim Wells County, and LaSalle County. That's going to be now the South Texas Economic Development Alliance in support of the refinery. Because at the end of the day, all these counties are going to get affected by all of this. It's not only us. We're the ones that are going to get the most affected because it's going to be 6 miles, but everybody's going to get affected somewhere. They're going to contract with companies that are within those areas. They're going to hire people from within those areas, and so everybody's interested about this economic. Even the whole valley is excited about this because even they're connected in some way. And definitely Corpus. This is not going to be the last refinery, by the way, that's going to come between Corpus and Laredo. There will be others, just because of the nature of the railroad, the sealand port, the inland port, and the need of Mexico to get energy. So you're going to see more. We're already seeing the Exxon refineries is at full speed. I mean, they're moving faster than these guys are. That's twice as big, and they're going to do the same thing these guys are going to do. Move the product to Mexico because that's where it's at.
And where's that Exxon Mobil or whatever?
That's going to be Portland? Portland. Right in the middle of it, by the way. We're still holding the door open for Webb County whenever they realize that, they need to support this, and if they don't, that's fine. This company wants everybody's support, but at the end of the day, they don't need anybody's support, okay? All they need to prove is to CQ that this is a safe environment and that they petitioned for it to be built. It's going to affect us big time. I won't tell you the name of the refinery, but when you hear it, you're all going to be pleased, okay? Because it's so close to Hebbronville that we are the main people. Besides Duval, they don't even need to look at the refinery. They're going to reap the benefits of it just by taxation. What does $500 million do to your tax base? A lot, okay? But hopefully in 2 or 3 years, we won't be looking at our sales tax going down and we can't pay the bills. And this is what, we're going to see it very first in our sales tax. We've already seen it in our tax collection. We're up 10%. Something in the air, okay? People are starting to realize, let me clean my yard, let me sell let me pay my taxes, and we can do all those things. Visited the appraisal district, and they're going crazy over there. So many people looking for lots and a lot of them are out-of-town people that are investors that are starting to come in and say, how can we benefit from this? For us as a community, it's going to require, lodging, housing, law enforcement, more ambulance, more fire, all those kinds of things are going to be part of what we need to do to gear up. Water and sewer, all those are things that we're going, if we don't upgrade those things and get ready for those things, these people are going to go on to other communities and commute in and do all those kinds of things that they can do. We don't want them to do that. So we've got to be proactive in trying to support this because it's coming. This was the old Tri-County consortium. There's more people on the left. I don't know why those pictures won't go. But besides the counties, the Texas Workforce Commission is involved. Laredo Community College is involved. Texas A&M International is involved. Coastal Bend Community College is involved. The Texas Workforce from Corpus is involved. The Laredo Economic Development Foundation is involved. So many entities are looking at this and trying to support this and make sure that it happens. Now, if we look at where we are right now in terms of, let's just look at Jim Hall County. We're at 7.8 unemployment rate. And even the ones that are employed are underemployed. And the reason they're underemployed is because they were making good salaries when the Fort Eagle Shale was in full force. Now they've had to come back and take whatever jobs are available. So if you look at it from year to year, our unemployment is going to grow up to 9.9% if we continue the way we're doing without any economic development in our community. Go ahead. So the refinery is going to be built in two phases. Phase number 1 will create 1,500 to 1,800 initial construction jobs. That's phase 1. Okay? And these are people that are going to be needed immediately. Welders, carpenters, laborers, all those people. You don't need any preparation for that. You just need experience doing that. And they'll be hiring from wherever they can. In fact, some bankers told me, you're not going to find enough labor. That's why the alliance, okay? Because it's going to, and what I tell the people in Hebronville is don't walk in and say, I want a job because I live in Hebronville. That's not going to fly. You need to be prepared and ready because other people will be prepared and ready as well. So the first one is phase 1, and that's the construction of it. The second one, phase 2, is actually the permanent refinery jobs, and those will be from 300 to 400, even estimated as much as 500 at some point. And they're going to need everybody, from nursing, from law enforcement, from engineers. They're going to, on deck, on a daily basis, will be 45 engineers of all kinds. Chemical, electrical, gas, 45 engineers will be housed in there, operating the refinery from day to day. So those are the permanent jobs. Can we offer housing for 45 engineers in Hebronville? And places for them to eat and for their families to go to school and so on and so forth? That's the challenge. If we don't do that, they're going to go to Laredo and commute in, like many others do. So there are some challenges for us as a community, for us to benefit from the full force of this. Good. Okay, so the 1,800 initial jobs, go ahead. 609 direct. Now, what does that mean? Initial means those are the people they're going to hire. Direct means those are the default jobs that'll be part of the initial ones that they hire. Those initial ones are going to need housing, they're going to need food, they're going to need gasoline. So there's another 601 that are going to be employed within the community to support the 8,100. Indirect is another 201 employees through indirect sources. And the last one is what we call induced. Induced meaning at that point it just saturates to all kinds of levels. So you're looking at, if you're looking at 1,800 employees, add 609, add 201, and add 1,458, and you can see the magnitude of what it's going to do to the region. And I have to say region, because we're only part of this in terms of economic development and in terms of jobs. You know, it's a great generator. That's phase one. Phase two, 147 million, I think that's going to be the daily payroll for the initial 1,800, I think, per day, by the way. There we go, for the initial, and then for the direct, another 2 million. For the indirect, 112,000. For the induced, another 1,700,000. So a lot of money is going to be involved here. If you start segregating the jobs and looking at people are going to be getting jobs and working to support the initial phase one. Okay, phase two. Phase two, again, on an average, 350 employees, 1,045 direct, 301 indirect, and then induced 2,007. These are employees, okay? People that are going to be hired to support the 350 initial and the refinery work that needs to be done. When people look at these numbers, they realize how this is going to impact the whole region. In terms of the workforce preparation, like I said, on phase one, it's about welders and people that are already employed. Phase two is where we really need to educate our community and say, look, our high school kids, our 20-year-olds, our 30-year-olds who are looking for jobs, and say, you want a job in this refinery where the minimum wage is $36 an hour? Start preparing for it now. Because they won't let you in the door unless you have some type of courses that you're eligible to work in a refinery, even though they're going to retrain everybody, because that's the federal law. They may be, like those 45 engineers, they come in, they're going to retrain all of them to what the refinery is doing. Same thing with the job. So the work preparation is ongoing, and it's, you know, we're trying to spread the word as much as we can. Visiting with schools, visiting with companies, educational paths. Raven will be looking for certification in the following areas: process technology, engineering, instrumentation, environmental, petrochemical, lab technology, industrial machine, applied technology, industrial rotating equipment, mechanic, is that right? Yeah. Welding, applied technology, oil and gas, etc., etc. All these people that need to have those skills are the ones that are going to be hiring. Those are going to be part of the 350 that they'll be hiring. So, you know, if I were a high school senior and I wanted to work there, I'd start looking at one of those and either go to Coastal Bend, Del Mar, and start getting. Our job is to provide those classes and certifications here, and we're in the process of doing that. Raven is fixing to set up camp. The first thing they're going to do in Jim Hall County is set up a training center. This training center is for these people to look at those jobs, get employed, get certified. So that training center, you're going to see that it's going to start coming on board within the next two months, I would assume. And it would be all of the entities involved, Coastal Bend, Del Mar, LCC, TAMIU, all would be housed within that area to give information to people who want to get trained. Here's some of the degree plans: environmental technology lab. Most of these are, by the way, are a year and a half associate, at the associate level or a little bit below. The engineering, of course, that's at much higher level. And a lot of them are just certificate level 1, certificate level 2, and so on and so forth. Very doable for our community, for our citizens, for them to be able to say, you know, I want to work at the refinery, you know, this is the area that I, you know, go get a certificate. And then put your application, be ready to go. More degree plans. Adult educational literacy. One of the things that is pushing this is the Texas Workforce Commission has a grant for over $1 million to train people. That's all it is. So if our kids, if our community people want to get a job, they can get it free. Free, everything. They'll pay tuition, they'll even pay travel, they pay books, they pay labs and everything through one of these participating colleges or universities. And because it is in Duval County, the lead educational agency is Coastal Bend. They will be the ones that will be funded the $1 million to disperse. They can subcontract with TAMIU, with Del Mar, with LJC, but they will be the main ones because it's in Jim Hawk County, in Duval County. So we learned that as we were going through, everybody was trying to do their own program, and we realized, wait, if we want to tap into the money, the service area to that area is Coastal Bend. Now, the premier delivery of all this is Del Mar, because Del Mar has been providing refinery employees for decades. So they've got the technology, they've got the staff, they've got the labs. Too bad Del Mar is in Corpus, but they can be here just by the mere fact that they can work with the agencies that are here. So, and you can even get a GED program, I think. You can go through, if you don't have a high school diploma, you can get your GED and your associate all in one plan with the same grant. So a lot of opportunity is here, and I think it's just a challenge for us. We're going to have to work harder at getting the word out. One of the things that I mentioned, that we, on that $25,000 grant, we set a date for July the 20th. And in visiting with Raven in the last couple of days, they were telling us, you know what, we may have to do something before, because things are moving faster. But for us, for the grant on July 20th, at the pavilion, all the agencies are going to be there. Lending money agencies, training agencies, all those colleges there. Anybody that wants information on how to get the degree, how to get the grant, how to do business with Raven, what products do they need, it's going to be a huge seminar. And that grant is going to fund that. You will be part of that. You'll be making a presentation about our county, because what we're asking for Ms. Zutley to do is kind of do a survey of our county. What do we need, and how can we gear up for this?
And I want to introduce myself. My name is Marisa Rivera, and I am originally from Bembolos. I still live out there, and what my consulting work and the scope of work I do is to help with economic development, community development, and business development. And I do have a license, a real estate license as well that I hold. I'm not active, so I'm not here to try to make extra money with real estate, but I have the knowledge. And that's going to help with what Judge Gonzalez said. You have people that are going to want to relocate here. You're going to have developers that are going to come in that want to do business with Jim Hogg. And your sales tax is going to put you at another level, which is something that I find very exciting for you all. My father was a county commissioner for 24 years in Jumo's County, and my fiance is actually the county judge in Jumo's County. Economic development is something that I've been very involved in the last 5 years, and I even ran for state representative this past election cycle. Fell a little short, but that was my biggest thing, fighting for funding for economic development for our rural areas. We are overseen, and it's sad that it's political, because legislatures typically look at where they get the most votes, and that's where the funding goes. And people like us, communities like us, at our schools, everything else is slowly dilapidating, and we don't have the funding for it. So I'm just a big advocate for our rural communities and counties. As a matter of fact, I've been up to Austin probably 3 times in the last few weeks, and I'm heading up there tonight again to go help with the revenue caps that they want to put on you all. I was there for the hearing on indigent defense, and those are just money that the counties, it's mandated, and the counties don't have these monies. But thank God to a project such as this is like a dream come true for Jim Hogg to be able to benefit, to reap the benefits from this sales tax, to be able to take care of your county. As you saw, Jim Wells County is at, 10% unemployment, and you're slowly getting there as well. But with this, I mean, there should be plenty of jobs to help the community. I want to come in, assess what you have, what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, what your threats are, and what your opportunities are, which is also called a SWOT analysis. After that, we'll develop a strategic plan with the Commissioner's Court and Judge Gonzalez and see what we need or what you need as a county to get ready. I mean, this is kind of the carriage before the horse, because in economic development, you're like trying to bring in some kind of money and to generate sales tax. Well, you guys are getting that before. So now it's getting your county and your community of Hebbronville ready. You're going to need grants on infrastructure, grants for transportation. Finally, your roads will get some attention because they're so expensive to maintain. Dealing with the rail, bringing money, grants through the rail, and then working with the ports. I work very closely with the Port of Corpus Christi. That's something that I mentioned to Judge Gonzalez. Now I look forward to working with the Port of Laredo, because that is one of the main reasons that they will be housed here, because of your rail going straight to Mexico, and that's where they need to ship everything. In saying that, I don't know if y'all have any questions for me on my presentation, but I am here to try to get you the most for really dealing with state agencies. They can give us the most money with little bit of sponsorship and hopefully next to nothing. I think the governor's office is on board with this. Now getting the Texas Workforce Commission, getting the Department of Agriculture, and dealing with USDA to bring in these dollars that we need to get you all ready to go for Raven. So that would be my part. I also will work as a liaison or as a promoter for Jim Hogg in, under under Judge Gonzalez. I know he's got a lot of judicial duties, and Raven is asking more and more of him, and so I would come in and take some of that responsibility and help represent.
Any questions, Roland?
I've only got a comment, is that I'm glad information like this is coming out. I think it's overdue. There's a lot of questions in the community for and against. And I know that personally I've been asked about the project, and I've had to say, I don't know anything about it. And people are stunned when I say that. And I think Raven needs to start coming to the table. And if they're going to do the talk, let's do the walk. And get the information out, because it's to their benefit, and I'm in full force in favor of this project. But they need to do their part and come in. It's their project. They're going to make the money. They need to come in and promote it themselves. And if they're scared to do that, why are they scared? They, in my opinion, and I've expressed this to Judge Carrillo, they need to hire a public information advertising company and get the word out, because you have pretty good opposition coming out of Will County. And if you don't meet that opposition or dispute what they're saying by concrete information, then it's going to only hurt you. It's not going to help you.
Well, I will tell you that as a candidate, I was endorsed by the Sierra Club, which is, they have about 2.4 million members. And it's a very...
Pro-environment.
Yeah, pro-environment, but a very strict process to get their endorsement. I also sit on the Jim Wells County Freshwater District as a board of director. So if TCEQ comes in and okays this, then we have nothing to worry about, because you know how strict they are as well. So I am very pro-environment. They helped pass the Clean Air Act, the Clean Water Act, and so that's something that I'm very passionate about, our environment, our land, and our water. So I would not be here trying to represent a project that I didn't believe in, that, they're using geothermal state-of-the-art that's never been used in this area, a zero emissions refinery. So when you're looking at that, they're having to pay even more money to build a refinery like that. And I think that's what they want to brag on, that they're going to be an environmental friendly refinery.
Well, that's good. And I commend you for your work, but am I correct? You don't represent Raven?
No, sir. No.
Okay. See, Raven needs to be here.
In our conversation with Rocky and I, with them, we keep telling them, the more you delay your coming out, the more people get confused, and the more may go to the other side and say, you know, maybe this is not what we want. I think they know that. And they have a process, they have a timeline that they're following that includes getting the engineering, which is the biggest of all, the design, which is the next biggest, the funding and all that stuff, and they've been coming out a little bit at a time. I think things are gonna move pretty quick in the next 4 to 5 months. But that's the same message that your concern, I think, is everybody's concern. Okay.
I went to a thing in Bruni thinking that it was hombre. I was there with a plate and then
There's another one on March 21st.
but see, we were kept out of the loop. We didn't know
We
what.
didn't know, so we never got invited to.
And you were kept out of the loop intentionally, the whole community. I mean, we were on a gag order for about a year. We were not to say anything to anybody, but we knew what was there. But slowly, and leaks started coming out. In fact, the people that were visiting.
No, but once it got out, we were kept out.
Well, now it's starting to come out.
But we should get those people, those geo camera, whatever, engineers to come here and explain to the court.
Well, this is the resolution that was passed, and Commissioner Martinez just pointed out that it says passed and approved by Duval County Commission. We'll need to change that. This is being approved or presented to all of the 7 counties, hopefully this morning, and all their commissioners for support and approval. So if we are to approve this, we need to change that, that says approved and passed by Jimmo County Commissioners Court. Okay, is there a motion to approve this resolution?
So, I move.
There a second?
I need more information at this time. Anyway, they're not gonna stop without us. I'm gonna.
What was your comment? What did you say?
I move to sign the resolution.
Yeah, we need a second. Is there a second to this motion?
I need more information.
I'll second the motion. Discussion.
But I would like to, somebody from the geo, what was it? The geo, to come in, they can explain to us over there. I mean, I'm for it also because my brother's been working in the refineries for 30 years. And shit, he won the lottery when he got that job. But I mean.
Motion been made and seconded. Any further discussion?
But I just need more information. We've been kept out of the loop for a long time.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Let's raise your hand.
I'm against. For this time,
Okay.
I need more information.
So,
Which- Huh?
I'm against it.
2 against and 2 for. The resolution is defeated. Okay. Go back to the beginning. Adoption.
Have executive session, Your Honor?
Huh?
Have executive session?
My executive session goes
Oh,
over.
that's great.
So we will go to executive session.
We're going to, is there a motion to go into executive session under real property with county auditor present?
So move.
I would also request the county attorney present.
Motion made, is there a second?
Second.
Second, all those in favor say aye. Aye. We are in executive session, it is, I'm gonna have to go back, 12:27. Would you all please
We're back now.
Okay, it is 12:44 and we are in open session. The only item discussed in executive session was item 1703-015, real property with county auditor present. No decision was made. Is there a recommendation?
Yes, I'm asking for approval to pay this invoice, and I'm also asking for something formally to be written up by the county attorney.
So move.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carries unanimously. Go back to the front. Adoption of minutes 1703-05005.
There's just 2 regular meetings, Your Honor.
So move.
Motion made, seconded? Somebody second? Okay.
I think she did.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Departmental reports?
Yes,
Yeah, no report.
So again, my name's Yolanda Ayala. I'm new to the team with AirMed for public relations. And we had a total of 85 EMS calls for this, for February 2017. 54 of them were for Medic 22, which is the unit that is stationed out here at our station. That had an average of 6 minutes for the arrival time. We also had 21 calls for not Medic 22. This was coming, maybe a unit that was posting halfway in between. And that one had an average time of 12 minutes. We also had 3 emergency calls that were not Medic 22, and we didn't have a unit posting. This was out of our county, out of the county here, and that one had an average of 27 minutes. The last one that we had was seven emergency calls for Medic 22 that were not at the station. They might have been coming back from a call, or they could have been eating somewhere, and that one was an average of 11 minutes. Has there been any concerns or any questions? No?
I haven't heard any.
Thank you for your report.
No problem.
And all the other reports are present that we filed in the county clerk's office, and then one copy where?
Yes, there's gonna be 3 copies. The one that you have right now is gonna go to the clerks, they're gonna say one for you, and then there's gonna be one for me.
Okay, and then the only reports missing there, fitness, parks, grants, landfill project consultant, and then tax assessor collector, Norma.
Oh, no.
Norma, she's been bad.
She's been bad?
Yes, she's been bad.
Very nice.
Okay, is there a motion to approve the monthly reports as presented?
So move.
Motion made, motion seconded, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. 1703-007, financial report, county treasurer, auditor.
Yes, you should have it. I think she has it.
That's the one here.
Right, GGGG, that's one here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I know, I have a question. I know that previously in Commissioner's Court, we weren't gonna give the reports anymore. I thought it was just gonna be the 3 copies, so does she have to still be doing this, and do they still have to come?
She wants to do this.
We're gonna have to get this back. Remember, because we're...
Old habit.
Yeah, but just so everybody can know, that way they don't have to miss it.
Is there a motion to approve the financial report?
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. 1703-008, approved bills.
Okay, I have 2 add-ons to the bill. One is from Petra. It was an old invoice that slipped through the cracks, she says, and so it was from January back in, and she wants me to pay it. As y'all know, my policy, I don't pay invoices. This was back in January before my policy. I'm asking if y'all could pay it. It's going to be $94. And then there's another one that I'm adding on, and that's an invoice from the gas, what is it, the fuel tanks. I know the sheriff's department had that problem, and I was in that talk to you, Sheriff, and then the motor pool had the same problem. It's that fuel pump thing is not correctly working. I sent it back to the sheriff and said, you need to see if the contract covers that, why should we pay it? I sent it back to the motor pool. Nora responded to me, she says the contract doesn't cover that. So they already invoiced us for it, so I'm asking if we can pay for that. So I would go ahead and ask if I could pay the sheriff also, because obviously his product.
Yeah, they just put.
No, they came the second time. The first time I'm paying for it, the second time it should be free. But that's something we can consider next time we do a contract with them, that their maintenance should be free. But just to let y'all know, so I'm asking if we pay the $317 from the motor pool. It will get paid by 11/4/23/30 on the repairs, and that's $94. That was it. It's her, just food and the nutrition center. Old Farms.
So move.
Motion to approve bills presented and the 2 additions. Motion made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carries. Approve payroll for March 10th, 2017.
So move.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carries unanimously. Last item on our agenda, 170310, communications. For information only.
Okay, this is me. I just wanted to inform, and it should have just been Marisa's Commissioner Court meeting, but anyway. I just wanted to inform the Commissioners Court that I have received a red flag under the bills that we've been paying for this is the light bill for the food pantry. It's been increasing greatly. In October, we paid $436 for it. In December, we paid $685, and this January, we paid $909. So I put the copies there. It's just increasing. And
I've got a question.
Yes, sir.
I noticed where all the other ones, the energy charge is being filed at .026142. They're all a little different, but they're around
The same.
.002, with the exception of the one at the pantry.
Uh-huh.
It's charged at 0633 per kilowatt, and also at 402 North Karen. I don't know where that is.
We'll have to ask Grisela.
It's also, I think that was the February bill was
Mhm.
at that same rate.
Okay.
Why did it jump from 02 to 06?
That's what I need to ask, because I wasn't aware. The bills, they just go to Grisela and then she pays them. And then when the numbers, started being alarming, I said, well, I need to inform the Commissioners Court that it's increasing, and I don't know if it's the usage. And also the problem. Okay, well then that one makes sense.
The girls, for the girls.
Because now they're turning on the
It's the girls,
lights.
yes.
So,
What's the statement?
The Karen one, the Karen Street,
It's a softball field.
it's a softball field.
The girls stop.
See, in January, the Karen facility was charging .023861, and then in the next month, it was .060211.
Why would that change?
I don't know.
maybe depending on it, maybe they have like a usage bracket, I'm not sure, but,
Could be.
but I'll double check.
Somebody's gonna have to call and find.
Yes, and I will definitely do that. I just, that's a $900 is a lot. Of course, we paid it. I don't have February statement yet. It probably came in today.
The other
or
thing
last
is,
week.
we have a bunch of freezers that are empty
Yes,
and they're running.
that's why I wanted to inform the Commissioners Court. I don't know if we can go in and look. I know that they have freezers that they're not using. There's a person there who works there, but she only works part-time.
In the morning?
And in the mornings, and the bus only goes once a month, and it comes outside, so the people go, so I don't understand why we're even using that building. Why are we paying $900 a month? You get what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that we kind of need to discuss, and I just want y'all to be aware, that way maybe y'all can go by, visit, see if we really need to use that building, see if we can cut the grid.
There are very strict guidelines for public officials to visit that area.
So,
But you can,
well, that's why I'm
and-
asking, do y'all want me to go
Why
check it
do
out,
you?
I'll say, close it out.
because the food for vote policy that the pantry has, they don't want county officials to be involved in either giving or receiving food or anything like that, because of the idea that it promotes a policy that they call votes for food. Okay, it's a federal policy. So unless we're going there for a specific purpose, even when it's closed, we can, I think, somebody needs to go and inspect it.
Everybody
Well,
goes.
then that brings me to another thing,
Everybody goes
the
to
food
check
pantry
here.
organization, it's not by the county.
No, it's
Well,
not.
here's
So
the,
then why do we house the lady that works there?
Because the county's not giving you any bags out, it's the food pantry from Laredo.
Okay,
It
so then
comes
why
from
is there
the
a
bank.
part-time worker, and why
I
do we pay a part-time worker, and why are we paying a light bill? What does the part-time worker do? That, you see, those are all the questions that are arising because of the light bill.
She doesn't get any freebies.
She
She doesn't do anything.
We're not ordering.
She doesn't order anything anymore.
well, they're fixing to do that because they finally got their 504 ready. 503. ready.
So then now we're gonna start using the freezer?
Now they're gonna start buying food and giving it out, and that's when they need the freezers, really. Up to this
Okay, so
point,
then
they've
we
been,
can't cancel the freezer.
those
Now,
freezers.
you
are
shut
good.
down the freezer, when you reactivate it, it's gonna cost you a lot more.
Right,
to
okay,
reactivate it.
and those are the questions I wanna know. Are we putting food in the freezers? I mean, what is she doing? Are we gonna start giving out from the county, things like that? Because if not, we're just throwing away money.
Well, it's a service that we provide to community people.
No,
Not everything,
that's
not everything is a profit, okay? The county provides
Yes, but there's-
services.
Yes, I understand, but there's so many things that are lost.
We're not providing anything yet. 'Cause
Well,
Laredo
if-
comes with a bus and gives it outside.
Right, then that's what I'm saying.
We're not
But,
getting
I
any
mean-
commodities, we're not getting anything.
But we're paying the bill. I mean, we have, we're paying the bill, we have the money, at the time, we're paying it under utilities. I was just so y'all can know, hopefully, she starts receiving, hopefully she starts, providing food for the community. I mean, I'm for that, I understand people need that. But, just right now,
Okay, so right now what you need to do is look at that rate, because that was the purpose of this. And if you want to challenge the existing of that pantry, do it at the end of the budget for next year. Okay?
I just have one comment for the court real quick. If it's possible, if any of the commissioners need to leave during court, please inform me so I can put it in my minutes.
If anybody leaves,
Yes, I need to know when you leave.
okay.
So I can
Shout
put
it out.
After that, because I'm not focusing on.
I know, okay, I know, yeah, that's probably,
I have to go back and.
that's probably my
I'll
fault.
videos to see.
Does everybody remember when he left with what item?
I think it was before 10 or
Malu
10.
left around 10.
It was right after the JP.
10:30.
Right after the
Yeah,
JP
Malu
item.
prepared was 10:30, so maybe
If I could just let me know,
11:30.
that kind of weighs me down, or that tell somebody to tell me, like, so that way I can write down.
Okay,
I didn't.
that's good. Did we leave any items out?
You have a question?
What was it, Gigi?
I just have a
Public comment.
public,
Go ahead.
just public comments, just FYI. We went to a meeting, a regional meeting last week, and there was a lot of concern on the tax office security. None of us have securities at our offices. At one particular county, a gentleman crossed over and went over the counter and tried to hit the worker. And in another situation, there's been people coming in with armed. I don't know my place, if we can go into my office armed or not armed. I just need,
Yes, they can.
and then I need better security systems in my office. A budget time comes, we need to really consider my office, getting cameras, redoing my entrance the way the old sheriff department used to be, because we have no security. It's bad.
I need water, I need sprinklers.
And, it's just sad that I don't want something to happen, and then we did try our panic button, because we do have a panic button. It just sinks into the dispatch, it doesn't connect with the,
911?
with the deputy.
Yeah, that used to go into the...
I used to go into the, now it doesn't, so, I mean, I'm talking about my office, and also here at the courthouse, in the annex building, somebody comes in, we have a lot of strange people coming into town.
Yes, we do.
And they hang out in our building.
And, we don't know
So
where
that's
they
where they
are.
pay those funds?
Yes.
And they
It's
just
just,
sit there.
it's,
Like, they typically report over here, where do I pay that fine? And it's almost every morning.
And then also now the GPS is there, so people are coming.
I know,
It's just,
and it's just a little bit of, I'm just, we really need to think about security and,
And the courthouse is way open. Treasurer's office,
yeah, that's what they were talking about, we had a general session on that, and even we had a tax sale at one of the other counties too, and there was a man that was, like, he threatened, people
Don't
and
sell my
stuff,
property.
so, don't sell my property, that, it's just,
It's getting really bad. You know, just because we live in a small community doesn't prevent us from not going into this stuff.
Does the sheriff conduct a sale on foreclosure sales?
The sheriff, yes.
Okay, do you have security when you conduct a sale?
We're usually both, I'm usually there and the deputy
And
or.
the deputy,
But this is almost every day, people coming in to pay.
Yes.
Challenge.
And, I mean, at one time I even had to call the sheriff and he goes, well, if you need something, call me back. I was like, because there was like, I mean, they're not people from here. It's like, you don't know who they are and,
No, it's,
you know, it's scary.
most courthouses or places you walk in and you register what your business are, who you're gonna visit, and you're either escorted or watched to where you're going.
You know, I'm just
They have a
saying, you know,
security
it's
guard.
just, we need to think it really, you know, like, we're by ourselves over there. And Marisa's over here by herself. You know, it's,
Duly noted, and we've talked about this several times, but at some point we need to do something.
it's like,
I need a time, but, because Alicia has one over there in her hallway
but
over there.
she needs to try to see if it works because.
Because she told me, if anything, because, you know, there is people, that my client's over here, but she's over here, I'm in the back office.
Well, you see, and mine is at the counter.
And I work through lunch.
I have to get up and press it.
Ours is far away too.
Okay, as an information item, thank you. Keep it on our minds. Is there a motion to adjourn? So moved. Is there a second? All those in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We are adjourned, and it is 1:02.
Check if we can see him in or something.